inaugural picture for the program?
No.
No,
He used his mugshot.
he did.
Oh, because he chose violence.
Well, that's his choice. He is the one being inaugurated. Like I said,
Right.
there's no election deniers on my side.
Hello, world, and welcome to our podcast. We're three pals with different viewpoints and thoughts who really don't know much of anything, fly by the seat of their pants, discussing news, politics, conspiracy theories, and much, much more. Two are geniuses, and the other's an idiot. Or are two idiots, and the other one's a genius? Or are we all idiots? You be the judge.
Or are we all geniuses?
There we go.
You be the judge.
Maybe that'll work.
That would work. That did work. I didn't get it wrong
Actually,
at
there's
least.
technically only one genius.
Derek?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
It's
No,
Now,
certainly
live
not.
from beautiful Central Florida, welcome to Political No Brainer. We're your hosts to your right and always right. It's me, it's Zach.
I
And to
love you.
your middle right, who am I kidding? He's a mega. It's Derek.
I'm a closet mega.
Come out
You're
of the
not allowed.
closet, Derek. And to your left, who's never left out because he has a puppy dog.
That's beautiful.
It's Rabu, the liberal Jew. That's terrible. I'm getting it canceled. Sorry.
Well, MAGA. I'm a MAGA guy. Make America gracious again.
Gracious. Why do we want to be
Gracious.
gracious?
Why not?
Why? Why?
Why not? We're already great.
Make America have more guns.
I I don't think there was an HM in the acronym.
I just made my own. I don't have to follow his acronym. Why can't I have my acronym? Do you think I'm that much
Do you
of a
know now there's
follower?
MAHA with Kennedy?
Make
Make
Yeah.
America
America
healthy again.
healthy again.
Healthy again.
Yes. I don't know
I
where
did
you've
not.
been. Oh, you've been on the other side. That's why you don't know.
No, I told you.
Hey guys, look, we have merch. Get your political no-brainers hat.
I love
I,
it. I
I got
love
to
it.
get Derek one. He says he wants one. Now,
Definitely.
now Trippy wants one, even though he doesn't wear hats.
I don't
Because
wear
he's
hats
bald.
though because I choose to be bald. I have hair.
I
It
choose
just
to be bald, but I wear a hat because if I don't, my head will catch fire. Did you ever watch the movie Hercules, the cartoon?
Of course.
Remember Hades? His
yeah.
hair. That's me in the summertime without a hat.
You kind of
I,
look like
I
him.
Thank you.
Well, you're
James,
pretty blue and big and blue, and you got that white. I mean, you're straight up 80s tonight, dude.
I'm blue. Do
Good
do
for
do do
you.
do do.
I'm blue. Good for you.
Trippy's
I've
a
got
Jew.
our
Sir.
corpse in.
Trippy. Zach keeps calling me a Jew.
You're
I've,
what? Are you a Reformed Jew, Trippy, or a converted Jew?
Well, I never
Did you
felt
follow Judaism
Jewish.
as a kid?
Never. But
So were
I
you
did.
bar
I did.
mitzvahed?
Yeah, but other than
Well,
that,
then
it
you
wasn't my
followed it.
thing. I
You
mean,
followed
not
it.
by, no, yes. Yes, no. Yes, did follow it. No,
Sounded like your last date. Yes.
I
No.
found it's like a thing. You find it, you're passionate about it. I
Derek got
found
that.
God, I found Jesus, and that's what I'm
I didn't
passionate
know he was
about.
lost.
I didn't have him in my life. I found
you're
him
a
in
you're
my
a
life.
Jew for Jesus.
There's
No,
Yeah,
actually
that's
there's
there
actually
are
such
they're
a
all
thing
over.
called Jews for
Yeah,
Jesus. It's
there
a
is. In New
they're
York City
practicing
mostly.
Judy. They're essentially what Christians with practicing Judaism
there
traditions, right?
well, yeah, it's kind
Essentially.
of like have you ever heard of the religion Seventh-day Adventist?
Yeah.
So there's a lot
Yes.
of now people who are Seven-day Baptist, Seven-day non-denominational because they believe Saturday's the Sabbath. And so it's kind of like the Jews for Jesus. They follow the Jewish law, I guess, and
Hmm.
but they believe in Jesus as their Messiah.
Okay. So they're
I
Christians
Yeah,
Christians.
exactly.
of a
I
Jewish
follow.
denomination.
Of a Jewish background. Yes.
Just a quick interruption here. Our corpse in chief is delivering his farewell speech right now. I think a great celebration is happening in America.
Celebrate good times. Come on.
But
Ba ba ba
you
ba
say that,
ba
but the
ba
truth is,
ba.
Celebrate. There it is right
he
there.
he
Da,
wouldn't have made it
da,
through.
da.
I hope he lives another 4 years, but I don't think he would have lived another 4 years if he were president for 4 years. I don't.
Well,
Well,
if he's gonna
he's been
listen,
mentally dead for the last
Well,
14
I don't know
months.
about that, but
46
Well,
years.
though they had
essentially.
rumor had it with no documentation whatsoever. Let me just clarify that even Ronald Reagan had dementia the last 2 years of his second term.
Yeah, do
severe.
you not remember the video by Genesis, Land of Confusion? And it was Ronald Reagan claymation. At the end, he's looking for the button to call Nancy, and he pushes the nuke button.
Yes.
Come on,
Even I remember that.
that
Well,
was a
I didn't. I probably did
was
see it.
that
I don't
Genesis or
remember
was
it.
it Phil Collins?
Was Genesis.
Okay, that's what I
Yeah.
thought. I mean, really, is there a
Does it
difference?
matter?
I
It's the
mean, is there
same
a
thing.
difference? I mean, can you tell me?
One he
Other
sings,
than
one he drums.
Genesis did not do Disney soundtracks where Phil Collins does Disney soundtracks, so
Okay.
He made a go of it.
he did. I feel bad for him now, man. He's not very healthy.
No, it's
No, he
terrible.
was great. I saw
He
them in
was great. I saw him
concert.
in concert.
I saw Genesis in concert. Ooh, my gracious,
I saw Phil
long time ago.
Collins himself
Was
in
Fun
it
fact,
concert.
Phil Collins was the drummer for who?
Genesis?
I believe he was a drummer for two a fill-in drummer for two bands during Live Aid in both London and Philadelphia within like a 36-hour period. I believe. I want
So
to say Eric Clapton in
I was,
Philadelphia.
I was at the Philly show,
You
Was he
were?
for
and
Eric Clapton?
Genesis flew from England over to America
Mm-hmm.
on the Concorde. It was pretty cool. They played both shows.
Mm-hmm.
I wish
But
I
Wow.
was in
Collins, but
England because then I would have seen Freddie, but I did not get to
but
see
Phil
Freddie.
Collins did drum for Eric Clapton that day, I think.
Did he?
I think so, yeah. If you go back and
So
I
that
watch
was
that
a
stuff. That was my
long,
jams when I
long
grew up,
time
man.
ago.
I liked Phil Collins.
Yeah, he's great. He's not dead yet, so you like Phil Collins. There's no D.
He's our corpse and entertainer.
Now, I'm sure you
He's
could
our
say that more like about Keith
entertainer.
Richards.
No, Phil Collins is not doing well. He is not doing well.
No. Prayers for the Collins family.
Yes, and the Biden family.
I see that his daughter is now a musician. I don't
You
know
know
any of
who
her music, but I know Phil Collins' daughter is a musician.
I
No,
was just
she's an
watching.
actress, Lily.
Oh, is she an actress?
Oh my gosh, yeah, she's a
Or is it,
huge.
but
Maybe
maybe,
maybe he has two daughters.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. There might be a second one.
Maybe she's an actress and I don't know, but she's a very well-known actress.
What's her name's an
I
actress? The girl, Steve Tyler's daughter.
Oh, Liv.
Yeah.
I
I don't
haven't
know what the other
seen
one
her in
does.
37 years.
Well, yeah, the
But
last movie I remember her in was Armageddon.
yeah, that was 30
that was
30
her?
years ago. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, that
It
was a
was
good movie. I
I don't
liked it
think
a
it was
lot.
30 years ago. Wait,
It's been some time.
that would have been 94, right?
I
No.
got a computer right here.
You're on a computer.
Well, I can't go into the internet on this computer.
You can't search the interwebs.
Can you do that while you're zooming?
I could
No.
if I wanted to, but then I wouldn't be able to see your shiny, happy face.
I would be the square you would take out.
No, it would, the whole screen would go away.
All right, that's
I
what I was saying.
actually, if I wanted to, I could do a split screen because
Right.
I have a big monitor here, and then like I could do, but I don't. That's why sometimes it looks like I'm looking off to the side, but I'm actually looking at the big TV monitor.
Oh, see, it always looks like you're looking in the distance, and then like you didn't show me your room at your house, but I know the direction you're looking at is a wall.
Right, there's a big
Like
TV.
you're looking at the pantry essentially from the other side, and I'm thinking
Yes.
that can't be like that. It looks like when you're doing it, it looks like you're staring out over like a vast um um just field or flat space looking off into the mountains in your back deck in Utah or
Oh,
Colorado.
yeah, his
But the
deck is
truth is, you're looking
nice.
at the backside of a wall with a pantry. So I mean, at least you're painting the picture. I think that's a big deal.
No,
I think big
I
things,
have a
and
big monitor
you're
here.
pondering. You have a very
Yes.
large ponder. You have a stature of pondering, and I applaud you for that. You seem very important.
I worked for a company where I was the owner's owner's assistant, and
Oh, you're gonna say bitch.
well, yeah,
Similar,
I was
similar in
called King
scope.
Giveaway. So he would do a Friday podcast where
Hmm.
he would give stuff away, and I was King Giveaway. And whenever the camera would come to me, I'd be off in the distance.
Tell me, when was this? When were you an assistant in podcasts were alive? Because you're going on what, 87 now? I mean, podcasts are relatively that's a figurative statement. I know you're not. But podcasts are relatively young, correct? 15
Right.
years maybe?
Maybe
This
15.
was
Cool.
this was
When was this?
post brain surgery, so
So
That's been
prior
10
to,
years.
post. So it was
okay, okay.
20. It was about 5, 6 years ago.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yep.
okay. So not
Brain
too.
You know,
listen,
I say he did podcast, but the King giveaway I think was Facebook Live. To be honest with you, I don't remember. It turned out to be a anyway bad situation.
I remember
oh,
the giveaway days. Oh.
I could come to your store and we could do a King giveaway
We're never going to do a giveaway. See, giveaways were a way to increase um,
live
community
from
and
Turbo Tint. We're here
customer.
to give you a new tint.
It
Not
was
for free.
it was a way to, boost engagement, and it certainly did. But things we learned along the way of sampling and giveaways, the people coming to the sampling and the giveaways,
they're just there for the giveaways.
they're just there for the sampling and the giveaways. They're
You
there
know
for
what? Here's what we'll do. We'll tell
nothing
them we're going to give
else
away
ever,
for the first 15 people who
ever.
show up at Turbo Tint on Saturday for a tint. You have to purchase a tint, and your first 15 people will have a gift for you.
Do you know the biggest giveaways
Do you
ever
know what the
were in
gift is,
Atlantic
Derek?
City?
He's getting to the punchline. No, I want to know smack in the
I'll
ass.
be there, and I will show them to your refrigerator full of beer, and they can have a beer.
Oh,
I'm giving it
I'll
away.
come for that.
Will you get tint? You can't get a beer without tint
Yeah, you
Oh,
do
I
have to
gotta.
buy. We've gotten a little more strict with that, just because, like, well,
because the homeless people are walking into your showroom and drinking beers.
no, no, that's been very under control. We've had
Say, my man, say, let me get some beer real quick.
I've had $30 sales with 6 beers consumed, and that's not ever gonna happen again.
Or then you
I've
have
had
a couple thousand consume dollar sales from yours truly and didn't have one beer consumed.
right, and I've had people too where I've had done 12 cars and they've spent 6 grand, and
Didn't drink a beer.
once in a while they'll stop by just to say hi without any reasoning whatsoever, and I happen to be there, and I'll be like, grab a beer, and
I ate some
or
M&Ms
you, of course, those M&Ms, they're gold, man. They're like $1,000 a pound. So there you go. There goes your margin. That
There
goes
it
our
goes.
overhead budget for the
Yeah,
Although
month.
the first time I took a handful, I thought were M&Ms. They weren't. They were Skittles, I think.
I
Or
love
they were
Skittles.
something. They weren't
I love
M&Ms.
Skittles.
It was like you ever take a drink at the restaurant and you think it's Sprite and it turns out to be water and it just totally throws you off.
No, I've never done that.
Or
I've never
you
done it
get that
either.
Coke and you're ready for that nice glass of soda and has the bag in the box needs to be traded out and you get like seltzer brown
Zero.
seltzer
Yes.
water.
Yes.
Yeah, I've
Yes.
had
I've had
that.
that where you get the seltzer water. Absolutely.
Uh,
Yeah.
that's a
Absolutely. And that
conspiracy theory trying to get a server to change out a bag in the box. It ain't
What?
happening. You got to call one of the cooks to come out and do it.
it ain't
Oh,
Yeah,
happening.
Mikey, I can't lift the box. Please help.
it's all true.
I can't tell
I
you how many times. I did have a server one time not knowing how to do it properly. I don't know what they did, but they punctured the bag somehow. Soda everywhere. And you know what
Oh,
that
that's a
stuff, you know
nice
how that easy is
cleanup.
to clean. Oh,
How would
That's
you
a nice.
puncture the bag?
I'm still to this day.
They have
I
plastic
never have one.
nozzles.
I'm befuddled.
They
I'm
have plastic
bamboozled.
nozzles.
I'm just telling you. Listen, I will say some of the restaurants I worked in, I love my servers. My staff were phenomenal, but they were servers for a reason.
Servers can be really intelligent.
You're calling people
Well,
stupid again, aren't you?
I was just saying they're not working for NASA.
You never. They could have college NASA degrees and be servers because
If they puncture a bag in the box, Trippy, they're not figuring out how to get to the moon.
they may be the ones that worked on the space shuttle where allegedly no the
I had one
alive
server.
mission operators are
I
still
had
out
one
there.
server who worked for us, and her name actually was called Bag of Rocks. I changed it on her ID and everything. When she'd clock in, it would say Bag of Rocks.
That's pretty good.
That's how
She,
Trippy came about. They changed it on the screen.
It is
yeah,
amazing how
someone changed mine. It would that's not where Big Daddy's at came from, but that's every restaurant I ever worked in that somebody would change it to that.
That's how it all came about.
Yeah. All my servers called me Big Daddy.
Big Daddy, come here,
Yeah.
Big Daddy.
They thought they were gonna get like better shifts by smooching up
I
to me
need to
and
cash out.
I think you're just making that part up.
No, no. Just trust me. They have
We all need to feel
behind
good about ourselves. I mean, I get
behind
it.
I
every
always feel good about myself.
behind
I'm just saying.
every
Trippy, shut up. You're
server
ruining the moment. Come on, man.
behind every server's nicety
Support me.
is a
I do
reason.
support. You should feel good about yourself, Derek. Always.
Oh, I suck at that, man. I hate myself sometimes. No, I'm serious. That is a genuine today. You ever have those days where, and I had this day, it sucks because then like it makes it tough. If you're doing sales or you're doing things where that require high energy, proper attitude, and your brain just it's like it won't turn on. Like you got kind of just not a just a minor little tiny headache, and you're just kind of like not you're not feeling yourself, you're just like I think everyone hates me. I'm cool, I'm good, I'm fine, but yeah, I think everyone I talk to doesn't like me. Ever have those days? Just once in a while where you're just not
Here and there.
feeling.
I
Derek, we
feel
we
like
love
some
we love you, Derek.
Zach, maybe I should ask you, right? You're in sales. Do you ever have that once in a while where you're just like, I just don't. Of course, yours is much more um,
Let's
inbound.
go back to when I was in the car business.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's days you feel like you just got kicked in the throat and you don't know why.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yes.
get it. You
That's
just
what I
gotta
felt like
you just
today.
gotta pull yourself up by the bootstraps and, kick
I
them back.
know. But I think I'm learning to,
We need to have a
when I have that
psychiatrist on
day,
this
to
show, I
kind
think.
of, I think we do. I'm learning though in those days to just pull back and say, listen, this is your time to pray or walk or read. But what sucks though is you don't want to have that during your time where you need to execute and be productive. So let's say you have to call people.
Where did Trippy
Trippy?
go?
Trippy?
Trippy,
We're talking about feeling good about ourselves here.
right?
And
And
this guy just
he
walks
basically
out.
just said F you.
He is like, you are the most boring, biggest pile of
Ladies and
S.
gentlemen, we have lost Trippy.
Technical difficulties. Do, 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 do. Why don't you give him a text
I
or
am.
see if he's
I am. I'm texting him. We
we
all
all
froze?
froze.
No.
Nope, just
No,
you,
no,
my friend.
just
Yeah.
you.
He's a little slow anyway, isn't he?
Hmm. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the two geniuses are here.
Well, yeah, I mean, just grant the public what it wants. What's your second wish?
Hey, why did someone just text me and say, "Hey, get rid of Trippy"? Oh, look, he's gone. They didn't.
What do you know?
What do you-
I noticed all the comments talked about people not
I'm like a genie.
talking about having those days where people just it feels like people aren't feeling you. I mean, there you go. Those comments, we don't play around here. Okay, political no-brainer does not play around. You want someone removed, all you gotta do is say the word.
Just
Zach will
ask.
boot him right
Just
out of the
ask, and
room.
gone.
Get him right
86.
out.
Um, yeah, when you're having those days though, I would probably
Hmm?
not recommend reading the comments.
No, 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 no. What I mean is like I'll go
Although you
to
probably got a lot of fans out there. Oh my gosh, Derek's on. Isn't
not
that
really.
cute? Yeah, well, whatever.
No,
They don't say
no,
Zach's
maybe
cute.
maybe 20 years ago,
20 years ago, what were you, 12?
15 years ago.
You were 16?
No,
Oh,
maybe age of
his internet
20.
went down.
Oh, come on, Trippy. Well, we can choose to
Pay
carry on.
your bills. You
Damn
know,
liberals.
you liberal bastard.
See, it's true.
Get off the government.
Rebooting.
Yeah.
Maybe he has a hotspot. Do you have that on your phone
Of
where,
course I do.
see, for traveling and
Me
stuff, you
trying
have to just
to
have all that
me
crap
trying
on.
to explain to him what the hotspot is would
Oh my word, that would be awful. You're right. Don't say no more.
I have
That was
Trippy, use your
awful.
hotspot. Where's that? Come on, boys.
So for the listeners out there, we are
Trippy,
texting Trooper. Trooper, that's my cat. He just took a crap in here.
what
Trippy, sorry.
why
Wow.
did your cat crap in your office?
Well, that's where the litter bin is because there's no other.
Oh,
Because
okay.
we live in a Florida house. There's no Florida houses. They lack these things called closets and shelves and nooks and crannies and places to stash things. They're just these empty shelf of ugly. Anyway, how do I feel? Um,
Tell me how you feel about your house that you probably spent too much money on to live in Hamlin.
It's actually a very nice house. It's just
Is your
up
address,
north.
is it Winter Garden, Hamlin,
It's considered
Windermere?
Winter Garden, but it's
Yeah.
very much not Winter Garden. It
No.
is, we are literally point 0.2 west of Windermere. Like if you go out of our neighborhood to the east, you are in Windermere. Like Summer Lake.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know.
Summer Lake is Windermere, and that's on the other
Yes.
side of the woods from us, which is point 0.2 away. And then south of us, Hamlin isn't really considered a city, but Horizon West is like a tax zone, I think. I don't know what you consider it, but that's the area directly north of Disney World, the Magic Kingdom.
But I will tell you this
But
much. That's Winter Garden.
Downtown Winter Garden takes us, depending on traffic, between 16 and 25 minutes to get to. We never go there. It's far.
I love Winter Garden.
It's far from us,
I
dude.
like,
You probably can get there quicker than us.
it takes me uh,
15.
20 minutes, if that. Excuse me. Um, no, I like their Winter Garden has a really good farmers market on Saturday.
Okay.
Really good. We enjoy it.
Windermere has one Friday morning
I think
that I
we're gonna go walk Prince around down there one day. Prince or Boz, one of them. I don't know.
hmm.
We
Are you
can't
getting
we
another dog or no?
no, Lorianne's not ready for that.
No,
I've been
no.
sending her ideas and she's like, no.
No.
But I will tell you this much as we love the big galoot, big diesel, Boz is a completely different dog since he died.
That's what you said. Because
Yeah,
they
he's
were not feeling each other, right?
no, Boz and Diesel were best friends, but I think Boz was very overwhelmed by his alphaness,
Hmm.
and Diesel let him know who was the boss. And now he feels like freedom. He sleeps, he's got all his toys, and he doesn't hide and doesn't hoard his treats. And I mean, he loves to run up. If you come over right now, he would jump up and give you a kiss. And he would never have done that when Diesel was here because Diesel would have attacked him.
And then Prince is Jana's dog, right?
Yes.
The Rottweiler.
Yes.
And Boz is a lab.
Black Lab Pit.
Oh, yeah, okay. Wow. Yes.
Everybody's
Okay.
got
A
a pit.
thing. It's a thing.
Everybody's got a pit. I've met some
I
really
like the
nice.
Rottweiler. They're a little slobby,
Oh, Prince is a good boy.
but I love the big protector dogs because they're the biggest sweethearts ever.
I went to a customer's house the other day and
Hmm.
I pulled up, get out of my truck, and I'm getting my stuff, and all of a sudden I walk around the corner of my truck and there's a Doberman standing right there, and I'm like, hey, buddy. And
Those are
these are.
like the really astute, slender, like or built with the pointy ears, right? Just like Anubis.
Did you ever see Magnum PI?
It's before my
No.
time, man.
Well, he had Dobermans. Anyway, so I texted the owner and I said, "Hey, I'm here and I don't know if you know, but your dog's out in your front yard." And he came out and oh my gosh. Zoom is installing updates. Anyway, he came out and the Doberman was a sweet as pie, but I don't walk in someone's yard if their dog is just walking around because that's their territory. And I don't know how he's going to react to me walking, especially with my wheel. And yeah, anyway, he was super sweet. His name was
So
Onyx.
Onyx
Yeah,
isn't what color? Isn't Onyx a color?
yeah, black.
Oh, it's
Doberman.
a stone. It's a gemstone.
Right, but Dobermans are black.
It's like a polished lava stone almost.
Yes.
It's like yeah, it's a real
But Dobies are black. Mostly. They have
Onyx
I
is
want
a
to say they're red.
fantastic
I
name.
don't think their color is red, but that they look red to me, but like they have two colors, black and this other color.
Onyx is one of my favorite names I've heard. That isn't I don't know why I'm fanning over that name.
Get a black cat.
It's possible.
My cat was the vet told me my cat's color was peanut butter.
That's cool.
Yeah, good old Jerry. You didn't get to meet Jerry. He was 24 when he died.
Really? That's
Yeah.
beautiful. That makes me feel good because our cats are going to be 13 this year.
Do you take your cats to the vet and get vaccinations and shots?
We did until they were 10, and then we stopped after they said they no longer need the distemper and they never leave the house, so they don't need the rabies. Taking him to the vet in the car. Anything car wise is super, super, super stressful for them.
Yeah.
We leave them in the house. We baby them all day. They spend all day with us all the time. They are on straight canned soft food, which is better for the boys because then they don't get the UTIs.
Yep.
And they are playful as kittens, and we feel like they're best left the heck alone. Sometimes we do too much to our pets.
Right. Well, have you seen
We
my
as in
wife with the
humans.
dogs?
Well, what I mean is sometimes if you took like feral pets, feral animals don't live. They get hit with something, right? But if you took that feral and
And
you put
ladies
him
and
in the
gentlemen, thank you
house,
for watching our show. Tune in next week. Oh, hey.
and to think, we will accept your feedback that it was much
What in
better,
the
and much more
world?
concise, and we will grant your third wish next week.
Yes.
So yes, I got my credit card out and I called the called Spectrum for Trippy. I paid his bill, so the liberals are happy. Zach is drinking his tears, and we should be good to go.
We are good to go. I'm just, gee, wait. Oh, we're
So
back.
anyway, Derek, Jerry, when he was a kitten, I took him to the vet. We had him fixed, and that was the last time he ever went to the vet. Other than
Hmm.
once when I moved back to New Jersey in '05, I took him to the vet because I wanted to get pills because he was riding up with me in the car in the moving truck. And I know that was going to be stressful. And so I got him pills, but she says, "Well, I have to do a physical." And she's like, "Your cat is perfect." I go, "Of course. He doesn't ever leave the house."
Once they are no longer kittens, the best things for cats are if they'll eat it, soft food,
Yeah,
extra
that's all he
water,
ate. Yeah, but then I
because it gives
found
them
out I
extra
was feeding
water.
him weight. I used to give him a can a day,
Oh,
and they're like,
Hmm.
I read the label, and it's actually supposed to only give him like a tablespoonful. And
Well,
he was getting really big. He was fat, and he
okay.
used to hork all the time.
I
He
think
was the
low
hork master,
stress. What
ladies
does
and
that mean?
gentlemen.
Throw up?
Yeah, Trippi is
yeah.
back.
They always throw up though. They throw up everywhere.
Yeah,
They
And
do the little.
what else? I think it's true too. A little bit of a variety of diet. Like we'll give our cat a little bit of albacore tuna here and there. Some of the nice high quality. Loves it. Lots of
I
water,
tried.
low
I would
stress,
try.
lots of purring. It's like their fountain of youth, and they do fantastic.
Does your cat, when he purrs, like get overstimulated? Does he drool?
Nope.
Oh, Jerry drooled. Yeah, you get little
Mine never
little.
have. I had 7 cats.
And
Never.
did they headbutt you?
Most liberals do.
I
Jeez,
don't drool. I don't drool.
you crazy cat lady.
Are we talking about
Did your
Trippy or the
cat
cats?
did your cat used to headbutt you? Or do
Me?
your cats
Mine
headbutt
used
you?
to. Mine used to
Yeah,
do this.
yeah. They don't
You
like
Brr.
know
ram, but they'll
that's their when they like bump heads with you, that's their
Oh
sign of
yeah, yeah,
affection.
yeah.
That means they
Mine used
that
to
love
and
get
you.
then
on my chest and go brr
They
yeah,
would
or
with their little
purr.
paws.
they'll
Yeah,
Yeah.
suckle like you'll suckle like a baby, or
He
yeah.
liked to knead.
they'll
Jerry would knead.
yep,
Yes, that mine did too.
And I never got
Ooh.
him
yep.
to Claude. And let me tell you what,
You should.
Him and my first Rottweiler, Rocco, used to get into it, and he would beat the snot out of him. Rocco would come in the room with claws hanging out of his face. I'm like, Rocco,
Oh shoot.
come here. And did
Decline a cat is like someone taking your hand right here
Yeah,
and
yeah.
cutting it at the knuckle.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not, it's
I
like
don't
once you do a
believe
little
in.
research, and I'm not knocking anybody, I mean, you do your thing, but do your research. And if they're, listen, I get it. If they're not an outdoor cat, you don't want them scratching crap. They don't need their claw. But think about this first. If your cat does get out of the house and gets lost and it's declawed, it
It's
is not,
done.
it's done.
Yeah,
It's done.
yeah, yeah.
Now,
You can't
if your
even fend
cat,
off anything.
listen, put tape on your furniture, whatever it may be, but you got to learn to trim their nails.
I did. I used to trim his nails.
Hmm.
Um, well, I also had a scratching post for him too.
Hmm.
He
Yep.
loved that. But you know what he loved
Some people
more?
put caps on them. They never worked for our cats,
He
but
loved the cardboard, like the corrugated cardboard. He would
yep.
scratch this. He loved that. That
Oh
dude, I
We
don't
have
have
that
to buy
all
him.
over the house.
I
We
didn't
have
have
it
to buy
all
him
over the
toys.
house
I just got him boxes, and he would just climb in and out of boxes all
oh,
day.
they
because
love that.
they don't use the toys. They use the
No.
boxes.
Yeah.
Although he liked
Yeah.
They
catnip, we'd get him stoned all the time too. It was hilarious on catnip. But no, Jerry's a good boy. He 24 years.
Oh, that might
Yeah.
be a record.
He would beat the crap out of the other dogs too.
That's pretty close. I mean, yeah, yeah, like late 20s is pretty maxed out for any possibility whatsoever of a
It's like a
domestic
hundred
cat.
year old person.
And my cat loved women. Absolutely. If you were a female and you came to my house, he was up in your lap, right? Except my ex-wife. Like she would
He
come
didn't.
over to pick up the kids or something, and he would literally get up and walk out of the room.
Wow.
I was like, "Yep, shows
He
you."
was telling you
He
something.
told me he loved this wife though.
Yeah. So did Mr. Diesel. That's,
DZ was her baby.
yeah,
But what
Mr.
are you gonna do?
DZ.
He's on the mantle right now.
Yeah, he's back, right?
Yep,
The ashes are back.
we got him. Big box, big huge box.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
165 pounds. Did
He
you
is
ever
only.
meet? Did you meet Diesel, Derek?
Hmm.
Okay.
He was on his
I bet.
last leg,
Yeah, literally.
literally. Hmm.
His one leg didn't work.
He was that was
Poor
Thanksgiving.
guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right, because he died
And
just
he
before
passed what,
Christmas.
like a week or two after, a couple weeks after, yeah.
Yeah,
No, we put
shortly
him
after.
down the Sunday before Christmas.
Yes,
Okay,
that's
okay.
a few weeks later.
So the 20, I don't know what it was. We could
Maybe
have we
four
could have
weeks.
kept him around, but it was just no, it was not good. The cancer, he had the cancer.
The kids
I told him stop smoking. What's wrong with you? He didn't listen.
with you.
I saw. Oh, you didn't meet him, Derek. You didn't meet my friend Bob. I saw my buddy Bob today.
Who's Bob? Bob's not the preacher?
Oh yeah,
No,
you met
no.
him. He was there on Christmas Eve.
Yeah. No.
No,
Bob. Okay, I don't think his name was Bob who I met. I met a guy
was
who,
he was smoking a cigar?
no,
Okay,
no. He was a big restaurant goer and man of
Mike.
faith.
Mike.
Mike. I
Mike.
met
Yeah, yeah. You
Mike.
met Mike because Thanksgiving. You didn't come over Christmas Eve, right?
No.
Did you come over
I was
Christmas?
no, I was wallowing in my misery.
When did you have steak with me?
You
Didn't you
never
come
made
over?
me steak.
Oh, well, I had steak for you, but
You guys are getting steak out of this?
you gotta come.
Hey, wait, time out. It's no, depends what kind it is.
I made
Ribeye.
some New
Be-
York strips on the grill the other day. The kids loved them.
Mm.
Loved them.
I would never eat your steak, Trippy. Okay.
He's a
Sorry, I'm
liberal. He
just
doesn't
kidding.
know how to buy the fat.
Okay, ribeye, I have been converted. I used to be kind of a filet only dude. And I love filet. I'm so sorry. I know it's expensive, ridiculous. I don't eat a
Yeah,
lot. I
it's
don't eat a lot
boring.
of it, but the ribeye cooked the same way, and I'll leave these things in oil for days and tenderize or whatnot. But the ribeye with all that fat, it's good. And then I'll make extra, like I'll cook it really quite rare and make extra so that I just have to warm it very minimally because you throw that thing in the nuker, it's shot. I mean, I only want like 5 seconds in there.
You know what we
And
do.
I'll eat that leftover ribeye with the fat cooked but hardened. And it's like instead of chewy, it's like it's just like soft. And it's good. It's like cold good. I don't know. I'm sorry
The
I'm being weird,
fat,
but
huh?
yeah. That's the best part about a ribeye is the
Oh.
fat.
So when you buy a
No.
ribeye, you look at the
Fatty.
marbling.
Yep.
More marbling, more
As of
better.
any steak.
So we bought for Christmas, we bought I think 14-inch and a quarter ribeyes. And oh man. And I always buy extra because the next morning I like to have steak and eggs.
Oh, that's
Oh
good.
yeah, that's right.
And I slice my
Dude,
steak really thin and then I quick pan fry it, just get it warmed up and then I eat it with the scrambled eggs and cheese.
I don't think I can take this right now because I have no steak in the house and I haven't had it for 2 or 3 weeks and I'm dying. Now I want steak.
Now tomorrow you're gonna have to.
My wife got
Tomorrow
us
you're gonna leave the shop and get steak lunch.
I'm gonna bring steak home tomorrow night.
my wife got us on the
Actually, I take that back. I did have steak, but it wasn't at home. Home
one
steak
of
is
those
better than going out
one of
steak.
those subscriptions, Good Rancher or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, we get a box of steaks every couple months.
Those are worth it, aren't they? I
Oh,
mean, like you can get some like even Omaha has
Well,
some pretty
there's
good
there's
packages.
so the package we get has steak, chicken, salmon, because Jana loves salmon.
Hmm.
Um, and we like chicken and steak, but I'd say just give me more steak. I don't care about anything else.
I agree.
I'm
I love
very, very
salmon.
this
I
close from
love
going on the
salmon.
carnivore diet, but I
Yeah.
don't know that I could eat just steak, eggs, bacon, hamburger for every meal.
Well, here's the thing, you can, but it's going to take you 3 or 4 weeks to get used to it because your body, when you eat a lot of carbs, your body gets used to that as an energy source and it'll actually crave it because it'll trigger your insulin. Just like someone who starts intermittent fasting, it takes a good 3, 4 weeks before you not only physically but mentally get used to it. And
Right.
once you're mentally tuned into it, um, so I'll tell you this, and I might be weird,
Am I
whatever,
keeping
but
you awake, Trippy?
No,
barely.
I'm listening.
But the one time I did like a men's physique, bodybuilding show, not big guys, but just physique, and I went down to about 5% body fat, which naturally is actually pretty tough. I went about 2 or 3 months where my diet was nothing but whole and egg whites. And the reason is because an egg is the only food with a perfectly complete chain of amino acids, which is incredibly important for muscle
And it's
tissue.
got more protein than chicken.
And you know what? My digestive was fine. Um, can't really say I got sick of it. Um, Everything was fine, and I still eat eggs to this day.
I just bought a
So
egg.
you could do it. It would take a while to adjust because your body's going to be like, oh man, I want a pizza or I want a freaking cereal.
Right.
But once you're used to it, that's actually quite a rounded amount of food, all that beef and it's got some negatives to eating
Well,
nothing but it, but
you can eat chicken, pork, turkey, beef,
there you go.
eggs, bacon.
Oh, the carnivore diet.
Yeah, you
The
should
Right,
brain.
not
right, right.
eat you even though as much as I love lunch meat, you shouldn't eat lunch meat.
Too many nitrates.
Yeah.
Right.
Gives
I
us
like
gives
getting
us dudes little headaches up here.
I like getting lunch meat like salami or honey ham or something and rolling
I like lunch
with
meat.
cheese and just, Can you eat cheese on the carnivore diet?
Yeah,
No.
I don't see
Yeah.
why
yeah.
not.
Why? There's not really any carbs in it.
Right.
I don't know. Tom's on it. My friend Tom, he's doing it. He's doing
Chef
well.
Tom?
50, 60. Yeah,
No,
Chef
you
Tom.
get shredded because you lose all your excess water and bloating. You would
Right.
lose, I mean, you'd probably lose 20 pounds in like 2 or 3 weeks.
My
It'd be all
doctor,
the bloat water and all um
I
the
can't.
tissue that whatever you call the is it called adipose tissue that you build before you actually store fat. Like that's why like you can be like see my face is like fat. If I did fasting and didn't eat for like 5 days, I would lose like 12 pounds of water, bloat. I mean, it'd be I'd look different completely.
huh?
Seriously. So it's really quick.
Did
Now
you
it's
knock
not
your
like you just,
microphone because you sound quiet?
hello. Do I still sound quiet?
No,
You
now it's
did.
working.
He's right.
It went low and now it's back.
Okay, my bad, my bad. I can always take it off. But
It's all right.
um yeah, it'll do things to your body real quick. Um But yeah, long term, you don't need carbs. You don't need them. You don't need them.
So, speaking of healthy, I was talking to my physical therapist and he'd like to be on the show.
We agree. He would make a great guest. Don't we all
I'd
agree?
like to get him and my best friend Wes, who's a chiropractor, on. But I'd like to, I'd really like to get Wes on by himself one time, not as a health side, but he's also a prepper and he
Oh,
knows a lot about like survival stuff and gear. Like I always joke, like if the ish hits the fan, I'm gonna be in Texas living with Wes because he has enough ammo and food to last us for 19 months.
that's what he calculates, or you're just making that up?
No, that's how much food he has. He has his own garden.
Wow.
He cans all that stuff. Yeah, yeah. So I'd love to get him
Wow.
on and talk about that. That's part of conspiracy theory.
Oh yeah.
Um, because I was watching. No, no, I was listening. No, no, I was listening
No,
to the.
no.
I listened to the morning show, 105.9, and they were talking about what would happen if America was hit by an EMP.
What
So
is
I
an EMP?
electromagnetic pulse.
Oh, yeah, they're talking about that the
Yeah.
lights and the power and everything's gonna
It'll
go
shut
out.
the grid down. I mean, planes in the
Right,
sky will just fall out like rocks.
right.
Like any given day, if an EMP goes off, they talked about like different heights. Like if it went off at 15,000 feet, it's only going to hit a select area. But if it's at 30 or higher, 30,000 feet, the whole country, the whole grid's gone. And literally planes will just fall out of the sky. So they say if an EMP hits right off the gate, you're going to lose probably about 250,000 people from aircraft fatalities. And then they said that, oh, I forget the percentage it was. I got to look it up, but it's a pretty high percentage. Like after 1 month, like 20% of Americans will be dead because they have no survival skills, no stockpiles, no nothing. And either they'll be out in the streets trying to get something and get murdered, or they just are going to die because they're not going to have anything.
Well, here's the thing about that. Let me just those who have some are going to only last a week or two. I mean, if you've got some cans in your garage, or if you've got a garden that may potentially produce some food, I mean, if we're really down and out for 6 months, the only ones that may have a chance are the real preppers. Like you said, a guy who has 19 months of supplies, if that's really the calculation he's thinking, if you portion it and you
Not only 19 months of supplies, it's
ration
for
it.
him and his children, his two
Right,
sons.
right. But so you portion it, you ration it, you've got 19 months. Yeah, you're going to be one of those who survive. But if you're just a semi prepper, like just a person fascinated with the notion of prepping, you're not going to get far along. I mean, for example, and I love to tell this story, but my mom has a neighbor and she brought over these boxes and they're like MREs. And there's like maybe for even my mom, who isn't a big eater, it was maybe 2 weeks worth of, there was
Right,
three boxes. So,
right.
so even 4 weeks. But I was telling her, at that point, really, you eat this stuff, you're 82 years old with digestive problems, you probably won't even be able to go to the bathroom after about
Well, the
two
problem
days
with
of this stuff.
MREs is they're very high in sodium.
Right. Well, not only that, that would kill her, but then she might be, not be able to,
It's too
be
much.
having to. It's too much. So I mean,
But
you
you know
could.
what the number one thing everybody's going to die from because they're not ready and don't know how to handle it?
What's that?
No water.
Right. That's a
Everybody
whole
takes it for
nother.
granted.
Right.
So imagine if your
Only
water
here in
doesn't work.
America, water's an issue all over the world, though. People know water is.
Sure.
Like
It's
If it's
it's
just a water thing, we would last probably 2 months.
so
right. Water's
That's
an
not
issue
bad.
thing.
I have on Amazon. I'm fixing to buy these filters that they're straws basically that you can walk up to any body of water and drink out of it, and it filters it and converts the water to be healthy for you up to 50,000 gallons.
Well, what about if there's not that even filthy water? What if there's only salt water? You can't drink salt water,
I think
period.
this filter does it too. I have to research
Uh,
that, so I can't.
yeah.
Yes.
Don't hold my breath to that.
Salt
There
water will
are
kill you, dehydrate
there's
you, and
there's
everything.
plenty of saltwater filters.
There are.
Yes.
I know it all over
The
the
one
Middle
thing
East.
I'd
They
like
have
to do
saltwater
actually,
desalinization plants.
one of
But
the
the
things I was
problem
going to
the
do
problem is
is
those straws and stuff. Those are like very. I don't think the filters are meant to really last long because of the
no
amount of
50
filtration.
50,000 gallons, I think, or something like that.
One
Oh, that's
straw.
a long time. I
Yeah.
doubt it, but
I
there's
don't know.
no way.
Here, let me
So
look
you
it
can
up.
just go in the swamp and start drinking.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you
100%.
just so you can go down. I can go down to the woods and start drinking, and I don't. I'm not going to be
Yeah,
like,
I'm not buying it.
ah, it tastes like Orange County.
You can go
Oof.
down any way you want, but
I'm
Yeah,
not
um
going
dude,
down.
dude, we're getting
all right,
canceled.
so this mini water filtration system is a straw. It's two straws. Read me the instruction. Where is it? Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. That's the instructions. I don't want to know. I want to know how much you can drink out of it. The other thing I'd like to do is set up a rain capture system in my backyard.
Well, I've seen those all over Florida. You probably see them in people's backyards when you're doing fence estimates. They're everywhere.
Yep.
My plan is to let the
So
two week people
this
die.
oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. I'm reading it to you straight out of the horse's mouth. Um, High performance with zero point 0.1 micro absolute inline filter, fits in the palm of your hand, weighs 2 ounces. It removes 99.999 of all bacteria. Salmonella, Chloria, E. coli removes 99.9999% of protozoa. I don't know what that is. Anyway, and then it also removes 100% of microplastics.
Does it say how many gallons it's going?
Filter is rated up to 100,000 gallons.
Wow.
Dang it, man. How much
So
is
you're
it?
good.
For two straws, it is $51.
It's worth it.
I got to buy three because there's three of us.
Well, you gotta buy four. You
And
gotta buy
share
two
it.
No,
sets.
you can buy them singly also, or
We
I can buy,
can.
or I can buy two sets.
Could buy two sets.
I have a friend of mine who actually has MREs that for sale, and it's $400 for a case, and a case is, I think, 100 meals or something.
Right, but 100 meals again only gets you through 30 days or 50
But if you
days. I
buy
mean,
a
two
case for
meals a
everybody in the
day.
house, or you buy two cases or three cases, because MREs are last for 25 years.
No, I know, but my point is 100. Okay, okay, 100 meals, 50 days. Pour two meals a day. Start off in the morning with a little something. Finish off in the late afternoon with a little something. 50 days. So
You,
you
trippy,
buy.
So
trippy,
I was
trippy.
actually going to buy 10 boxes.
You don't need food like you need water.
Right. You need water more
You
than
could eat
anything else.
one dang meal every 3 days and you would live for years.
Really?
Yes, you can go 2 weeks without freaking food, dude, and live. Now, not saying you'll be feeling good or energetic, but
Oh, I'm sorry, I lied to you. It's 20 meals per case. So I was going to buy
my
10.
point
I was going
is
to
you
buy
need a
10
lot
cases.
less food to live than you need actual water. So, yes, it's not as of a concern. So, my master plan is most of you will die in 2 weeks, which is fantastic. Maybe, hopefully, not you two.
Just to do
Um,
our podcast.
did I just say that's fantastic? That's effed up.
Oh
Anyway.
man,
You
brutal.
are you're getting
However,
canceled. You're getting canceled.
with 32 Powerade Zeros, probably four 12 packs of these, probably 6 gallons of spring water, and then what we do, check this out. Hurricane prep, we have a chest freezer in the garage, and
Right.
we probably have 42 liters frozen water because, hey, it's all filtered water, and it lasts forever. So you can melt it in a hurricane. You can use it to keep things cold for weeks in that box with a hurt, whatever. But the point is, if you took it all out and let it thaw, I would have months of water. So all I got to do is outlast them, and then I just go steal someone's filtration system out of their backyard.
Sure.
Or live in their
Or
house. They might
or
have
someone's
food.
crawling down the street with their straw hanging out of their mouth saying, "Help me." And I go, "No problem." Kick their head in and take their straw, and I'm good. I
Uh,
helped them
But
end it
do
quicker.
Just make sure you come stay at our house. Just bring that with you, and I provide the ammo.
Well, by that time, you'll be our next door neighbor.
Yeah, we'll all
Because there'll be
stay
no one
here.
there'll be no one in between us.
Yeah,
You feel
come.
me?
I hear you.
No one will be living in between kindergarten and
My
Apopka.
backyard will be the spot, though.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
We're
hell
gonna we're gonna
yeah.
be doing straw shots and
I'll have the propane grill going. But
Oh
so
yeah.
anyway, I was talking to him about it the other day, and I said, "Hey, if EMP hits, would it disturb or ruin a generator?" And he said, "Probably not." So if you've got a nice diesel generator in the back,
got one of those too.
how many
Do you
hours you
have
got?
one,
How many
Zach?
hours was yours last? No, it's 25 grand. I have not. I have not.
I don't have a diesel generator. I
It's
have
not
a
diesel. The one I was looking at was propane or pure gas,
I have a
whatever.
10,000 watt electric start with a pulse start too. Just natural or gas, whatever you want to call it.
Does it start monthly for you, or do you have to start it?
No, it's just a portable one.
Oh, you don't have like a Generac that does the whole home.
Well, like sort of. So no, I don't have that. I have a 10,000 watt portable that has a wired in whole home with a 20R 30 amp or whatever, 20 amp 30R,
Right.
whatever you call it, the big three-prong cord, 240
Mhm.
volt that connects straight to the house. And if the power goes off, the solar goes off, the power wall all goes down, which never happens, which is fantastic. But let's say hell freezes over and everything drops. I can wheel it out there, plug it in, and um, turn the grid connection to the master box off,
Right.
and then the outlet on, and then just start up the generator. And I would say it holds about 5 gallons of fuel. I would say a full tank is probably only maybe 36 hours, but then I have a spare 5 gallon, so I would only have
Yeah, but you don't need to run it like,
three
say,
full days
all the
of
time.
full home capability. But
Right.
yes, it would have some, it would have,
So the one I was looking at comes with a
uh,
200-gallon tank.
200 gallon. What is that? Like an aquarium underground?
Yeah, they put the tank, they bury the tank in your yard. It's 200
Pardon me.
gallons, and it's never
Oh,
full
my
because
nose.
they can't fill it because you just can't fill it. It's because gas expands and contracts, so it's three-quarters of the way full. So it's what, 175 gallons. And they said that would last me if I ran everything in my house and ran the generator nonstop. It would last me 14 days. But a smart person wouldn't run it everything. I might keep on my refrigerator. I don't need ceiling fans or the lights or anything, turn on the air conditioning every once in a while or something, or
I
vice
was gonna say,
versa.
I think that would last you like closer to like a month and a
45.
half.
Yeah,
No, no,
45.
they said 14 days if you ran it full blast all the time.
Well,
If I
I'm
didn't,
saying I don't think I'm saying not running it full blast. Being a smart, wise individual would probably last you over a month.
right, like I would shut off my hot water heater. Look, hey, take a cold shower. We live in
Yeah,
Now
Florida.
yeah,
this isn't
yeah.
if
You
you
shut
even
off any major, your central air, your heat, your water, all that crap. You said
Yeah.
shut it all off. Shut off the hot tub. Shut off the
now this is
washer
if an
dryer.
EMP hits, right? But now what happened with them drones? What are they still? We still squawking about them, or we're done with that
Now we're
topic?
done with them.
Who knows
We
what it
forgot all about
was.
them. Government one.
So I like what Lieutenant Colonel Lapido was talking about with the drones.
He was
How
amazing. He really informed us on how it's a government
well did you know that
operation.
drones they send drones out at night because drones smell.
Right.
So they
And
were
look during
he
the
thinks they were
day.
he thinks they were looking for a dirty bomb, which I
I'm
probably
But my thinking was, I don't know if I was able to articulate this, that when I was a kid, there would be times when I saw, out of nowhere on the highway, trucks with guys, military guys, army guys.
that's called the National Guard.
But were they looking for old school
No, they were
style?
no. If it was a weekend, they're weekend warriors. They go do training.
No, it wasn't just weekends. That's what I'm saying. It might have been this issue
So
all along.
so so the National Guard and reservists have to do one weekend a month and then 14 days in the summer.
Well, I'm not disagreeing. It could have very well been them. I'm just saying,
I'm just telling
it
you I know this for a fact.
but drones weren't back. Could they have possibly been looking for a dirty bomb back then too?
Hmm.
I mean, the
I don't know.
strange to me. I know we're done with the topic, and I'm not looking to reinvigorate it, but it's just strange to me that it was such a huge occurrence on a daily
I
basis.
told you what was happening. I sent you the picture. The drones were bringing Chris Christie his meals.
Isn't that, I mean, let's think about it. Isn't that kind of like what life is now? We obsess over one thing for w days, weeks, or months, and then it's gone, and we never talk about it again. Remember Gabby Petito and Brian,
Remember COVID?
Well,
barely,
that went
but
on
that's
for
because I don't want to
years.
remember it. I'll
No, no
never
one
ever.
wants to remember that.
But you know what I'm saying? Like that stuff goes on forever, and then one day it's done. And and
So
and and
I think that
obviously things do get kicked, they're fine, things do jump the shark and go down, but the problem I think that some of this stuff has is that it's not really done. We're just conditioned to think it's not a problem anymore.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Are they still
Like the
flying?
drones aren't done. We're just conditioned.
oh,
It's
look at
we're
Trippy's freezing
conditioned
up
that
again.
we're conditioned. I'm good.
Trippy's freezing up again.
Well, that's good.
Am I freezing?
I think we're conditioned to believe that it's a normal thing now. So,
Well, I also think that they do something like that because you're not looking at what the left hand's doing because the right hand's doing this over here, and you're like, "Ooh,
right.
pretty drone." And
But
they figure,
now the right hand doing this is normal. Now
right,
the right hand always does this.
right, right, right,
The
right,
right
right.
hand can do this, marionette, and it can distract. And
Yes,
it did its role in distracting while the left hand did this, something else. So without being a full-blown conspiracy theorist, although I'm very, I believe if something's unexplained, there's something behind it. Sorry.
I.
Just because
Why do you think I send you stuff every day?
well, right. But what
I
I'm saying is like when your gut tells you, your gut is right because God made your gut for a reason, and your gut, you're a human, you're wonderful, you're beautiful, you're uniquely made. Your gut Your gut might not be perfect in everything, but when it says something's wrong, something's definitely wrong. It might not know what is wrong, but it does know something's
Right.
wrong.
Correct.
And so we're taking this last 4 years and all these weird occurrences, and we're thinking, well, out of sight, out of mind. They're gone, they're corrected, and the gut still speaks. And you don't ever let your gut shut up because your gut is saying something. And what's scary and what's interesting about conspiracy theories is that we're being conditioned to believe this is normal or has gone away. Our gut is saying the opposite. And when we decide that we want to speak on that, we are raging lunatics, putting a nut house to silence. And lo and behold, 2 years later, a lot of it's true.
Yep.
And then we say, oh,
Well,
well, oh, and then we ask the people involved, and they look at us like this.
Yeah. I mean,
What?
it,
What?
I
What?
think
What?
we're all
What
going to
drones?
be,
What
yeah,
drones? We don't remember. What? Don't mind the man in the curtain behind the
behind the
curtain,
curtain,
right?
right?
So that's what happens, and then that's just it's disturbing and it's pathetic, and we deserve better. We're humans.
well, I'm a full-out conspiracy theorist. I'm a full-blown
You
I
weren't.
think no, I've always been.
I converted you.
I see things, crazy, crazy things that you guys probably haven't even seen as conspiracies, which I can always mention whenever you're ready. But the drones
Mention them.
are
You're bringing it
huge.
up. Don't like leave us in.
So here's an example of
Tell me
something.
about your
So,
crazy, crazy, crazy thing we never seen.
Show us you're
what?
crazy.
No, this is out.
Keep your
This
pants
isn't.
on.
It's
It's the
kind of a
first time I've
different
ever
level
said
of
that to a man.
conspiracy.
That's why I said keep your pants on.
They're on, believe me.
I
So
thought I thought
there
this
was
was the
a
safe zone. No moss
there
pantalones.
was this major donation. Again, I go back to Warren Buffett. Charlie Munger is his partner, but donated $200 million to the University of Michigan because there's a housing crisis on that campus. And he said, in order for this $200 million to be applied to housing, I have to be the architect of the building because that was his hobby, was architecture.
Right.
And he was designing these buildings with these little windowless units, hundreds and hundreds of windowless tiny units, and there was community study areas, and it was just this tiny area, hallways, mazes of hallways, but they were all windowless, and the windows were kind of like a cruise ship window, where like a what do they call those? Jellyfish comes winks at you and stuff. It's like a picturesque
Portholes.
window, right? And I always had this theory. I still do to this day because one of the things I keep talking about, Warren Buffett's got like $300 billion in cash now. I think he's going to buy up all these commercial buildings and convert them into these tiny unit buildings, and he's going to change the way housing is in America. You know that we're all getting too poor to afford nice houses, and to do it
What's going on in
realigning the
Claremont today,
economy too.
buddy?
Everybody can say,
Trippy.
what
Trippy,
happened in Claremont?
you're
You break
freezing up. What's up with your internet? I mean,
Tis,
you're okay
am
Did
now.
I
you just
back?
pay the partial bill again?
Get off the government's tit already,
No,
would you?
COVID was really a form of realigning the economy more than anything. I mean, people got used to having nothing. And it was all anybody could say it was one party or the other. I think it was both parties combined working in conjunction to do whatever to get whatever effect COVID had happened. I mean, we were literally couldn't go into restaurants. We couldn't go into public bathrooms. They were
And then it
locked at the
triggered the
doors.
greatest irresponsible spending spree the country has ever witnessed in the entire history and completely annihilated people's lives, expectations, accountability. The character of people today versus 5 years ago is atrocious.
Well, couldn't that be a
It
part of
is,
that?
it is disgusting. And I say that with a lot of like pain, right? Because no one wants bad people, but the problem is people now are high, low accountability
Right.
with the highest expectations. Meaning, I'll go into a restaurant and I'll say, you are my servant. I am paying money. However, if I make a mistake and you say there's a mistake, the first thing I say is, that's your fault. That's your fault. That's your fault. It is that this. I hate COVID. Why do we talk about it? But you're right. It has conditioned and destroyed a huge part of humanity, in my opinion, to have empathy and come from a place of understanding.
And let me ask you,
It's killed people. It has nuked people. Their expectations are out of control. Their accountability is under the sea.
under
And the
the
response,
sea.
it's just like, what's
Well, that's my question.
the people's mindset is now, what are you going to do to me? What are you going to do about it?
That's
What are
my
you going to do?
question is could that
And
have
you know
been a
what? They're
part
going to
of
be
the grand
slapped in the
plan?
face. That's what's going to happen. It's not, you can't just go outside anymore and get your butt whipped and learn a lesson. Now it's, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? And finally, someone comes along and shoots him. It's just horrible. And
Well,
to
here's
me,
something.
from a moral and ethical standpoint, the fact that any of that was intentional it's too scary for me to think about.
I certainly do believe it. I believe it was a part of the grand plan, everything you just pointed
Sick.
out. How could you
It's
predict it?
divisive.
But people are smart enough or scientific enough to predict that effect as well. That it's just crazy, but it realigned everything that we know to be a fact. 5 years ago is entirely different than today. And I it
Yes.
I
and
also believe that this generation, this new generation, the alphas. So I had to look up all the generations because I didn't know what they were. So my mom's generation was the quiet generation or the silent generation because the kids were to be quiet, not they were to be seen, not heard. Remember that?
I do remember
And then the
that.
next was the boomers. Then there was Gen X, greatest generation ever. Gen Z, millennials, alpha, and then this year the new generation is the beta.
I thought that what happened to Gen Y? Or is Gen Y A and B?
I think alpha beta. I don't remember. Hey, that's the ones I read online. Anyway,
I don't
but
think it's generationally
I
discriminating
think
anymore.
this
I think it's
generation, they're
every
not millennials, it's the next one, which is whether it's Gen Y or alpha. Ah, it's Gen Y, you're right. So the Gen Y generation,
it's Gen YMCA.
they have no accountability. They don't know how
Zach, I disagree
to
with you. I see it across every generation post-COVID.
Gen X.
Yep.
No,
Oh,
yeah,
big
I
time.
think
Big time. Are you kidding me? Big
Come
time. Do
on.
you know how many people
We
come?
lived through chewing lead paint and
Listen. I'm not talking about the resilience. There are many Gen Xers who have not prepared.
liberal tears.
You sell things.
I do.
How many 65-year-old men who are in a position financially that only a 28-year-old man should be in are in that position and totally overly dignified, proud that they don't want any help to do anything about it, and they're going to handle everything on their own, and they'll never die, and their families are
Are
fine,
you saying
and
they're
they don't.
poor or they're not set up
It's
for
not a matter of
success?
being poor or rich. It's a matter of acknowledging where your current shortfalls are and seeking correction or assistance with that. Let me. Man, I don't know if I want to bring this into this, but
bring it
okay,
up.
okay, so I've had life insurance since age 32, a fair amount of it. And I just came to a realization one day, like, oh, my wife doesn't work anymore. I should probably do something about it, right? Because if I die, she's screwed, but she's not now. When we moved to Florida, we rented a house for a year, and then I bought a house, and I have a gigantic, ginormous mortgage, right? Because these houses are so overpriced, and even putting six figures down still has a massive mortgage. I started a business which has SBA debt attached to it, like up the wazoo. The first thing that entered my mind is if I die, my wife went from screwed to okay to super screwed. So I upped my life insurance immediately. I did certain investments immediately. I prepared some things that even if she dies in the middle of my financial mess at age 39, my investments, my mortgage, my business, she's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all
Hmm.
right.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
There are countless individuals I encounter not. Yeah, I get what you're saying about the low generation. They're out of it. They have no freaking clue. They don't connect results and consequences. They're absolutely that's how they were raised.
Yeah,
In
that's what I
general,
was getting at.
it's a
Yeah.
generality. But
Right.
in terms of accountability, responsibility, and um preparedness, it, age is there is no discriminatory between age.
I agree with you on that.
Trust
Yeah,
me.
I
Trust
agree
me.
with you.
So
Know how
here's my
many
question.
70-year-old
So
men I
so
come
so
across
so
who are in a very bad spot,
right.
and I might do some analysis and evaluate it, and they are the nastiest people I've ever because they know that,
They
but
know they're
instead of
screwed and
doing
they don't want to fix
something
it.
right, instead of doing something or
Right.
allowing someone to help,
Right.
they're nasty.
Right.
So here's my
And you
question.
know what? And you know what? And I've heard people say this. I'm sorry, I don't want to bring it too deep, but I've heard people say like, well, what about your wife? Well, she'll have to figure it out.
Well,
And I've said something to people like, are you effing kidding me? Do you love your wife? Do you love your kids? Do you love your family?
well, I will
Like,
say this.
but
You
do you know what I
yeah.
mean? Do you know what I mean? Like,
You
I
looked at
have
my
had
life
grown men,
insurance and my wife's life insurance and you said
right,
we're
and
pretty set up for
you had
success,
something
so
phenomenal for what you are. That's
yeah.
great. But we talked about it, we looked at it, and there's other options and advanced things you
Sure.
can do, of course.
Sure.
But if you had no plan and you had and by the way, financially you're doing very good right now, right? And you've got a nice house and it wasn't you got it before everything went overpriced. So I know financially without knowing that you're in a position that's better than 97% of Americans at least. I know that about you without
Sure.
knowing specifics. And we could deep dive that and I would confirm it. My point is if you weren't in that position, and I said, Zach, like, what's up? I don't think you would ever respond to me and say, well, Lorianne just she'll have to take care of herself. I don't
Never.
care.
No, no, never. Well,
You
and
know what I'm saying?
but
So
to be
like,
honest with
but
you,
my point is the amount of people who say those things it across all my businesses, not just one thing or the other, who say things like that to me that are of any age is shocking.
but
And
to be honest
Well,
with
here
you,
is
it
but
is
to be honest with you,
mostly
when I
Gen
was
X
in
and
my
baby boomers.
30s, when I was in my
Shocking.
30s, right? When people talk to me about life insurance or my future or anything, you know what? 90% of the time, I can't afford that right now. The first thing you get rid of when you go broke is start your insurance. You get rid of it, which is
Yeah, of
stupid
course.
because if you're broke, you could die, and then you're going to be leaving everybody your brokenness.
Well, let's shift it to like car
And I'm
insurance. You
not
have
trying
to
to
have car
sell
insurance, right?
insurance, but
But like let's talk about like car insurance. I don't sell
yeah,
car insurance.
biggest scam on
You're
the
supposed to
planet.
legally have it for anything that you don't own outright, right?
Right,
And whether you have it or not in Florida, you if you can afford to use it, it's worthless anyway. You're gonna pay out your butt.
right.
And it's double what it used to be 2 years ago.
Uh-huh.
So it's the stupidest thing to even have. It should be the first thing you get rid of. It's a scam. Okay. However, you have it. And what if you were struggling a little bit financially and you, without telling your wife, you just canceled her insurance?
On the car or her life insurance?
Yeah, yeah, on the car.
Oh, well.
Dude,
Then she would lose her driver's license.
right. But what if you didn't tell her and you said, well, she'll figure it
She'll
out.
be fine. She'll figure it out.
Because hey, I thought you wanted to. No, you would come to her and say, hey, listen, Lorian, we got to make some cuts. Let's sell a car. This sucks, but the alternative is I'm going to put you in danger or screw you over. So
If I did that,
let's let's
if
take it
I
for the
did
team for a
that,
couple years,
yeah, if I did that and
right?
said, she'll take care of it, you better hope my life insurance is high because she's gonna whack me.
But you
well,
know what I
here's my
mean?
question. Hang on.
I mean that the younger kids have no clue about the real world,
No, my kids have
persistence,
no
effort,
idea about
Hang on. This
consequences.
is
insurance
my
You
or
question.
you
If you're in
but the
this, if we're
older
in
people have no accountability.
right.
If we're in this position now, we went from a housing crisis where people lost all their homes, but got to live in them for free for years because the banks supposedly it was too big a job to foreclose on them all right away.
Yep.
So
Yep.
people lived in them for free.
Yep.
Mhm.
They instead of fixing their kitchen, they were dining out. They weren't paying a
Wait, are
mortgage.
we
They
talking
had all
about
this.
COVID?
No, no, I'm saying
We're
before
talking about
COVID
oh
was
08.
the oh wait, oh
Oh
wait,
wait.
before
Okay. Yeah.
COVID was
Yeah.
the housing crisis.
Yep.
People lived in their homes for free. If their stove went out, why fix it? They're going to take the home in 6 months anyway. They were dining out with the money they
Right.
weren't paying their mortgage with. Then you've got COVID. So let's just imagine if this is step one, step two, step three. Now we've got the defeated who have become defeatists. So now we've got, and what does that leave? Is like you said, people don't really plan for anything. It's not just life insurance, and it is just life insurance. Nobody buys life insurance, or they do buy life insurance, but only the ones that are well informed. But that leaves this enormous opportunity for the ones who are for the very wealthy. Like, for example, Robert
Yes.
Kiyosaki. He has 18,000 rental homes at the moment. And he says, debt is good. I borrow, I borrow, I borrow, I borrow. And I make money on what I borrow because I buy an apartment building that I borrow. I pay the loan, but the rents
Yeah,
are higher.
if you can leverage it higher than your
So,
Right.
leverage a higher
So, and
return than your debt,
apparently he's very
absolutely,
good
sure.
at it. Apparently he's very good
Sure.
at it. And he says, so he puts it out simply like this. If you want to do what I'm doing, this is what you need to do. You need to know about insurance. You need to know about property taxes. You need to know about banking. You need to know about
Hmm. Hmm.
all sorts of different things that we're not even beginning to teach people about. We don't want people to know these things. We want the general public to not know them. We create these shitstorms one after the other, and I personally think COVID was by design. It was a ploy not just by one party or the other, and I'm not gonna. It doesn't really. Or it was a ploy by the very wealthy to realign the economy. After they realigned the
Hmm.
economy after the housing crisis, then they went to step
BlackRock.
two, right? Then they went to
Hmm.
step two, and now we're in. Who knows what step three will be? But yes, some of us like you, Zach, myself, I don't. You're in. You're in a business. You're in debt, and I've always said I know for a fact when I went one time to work for an ale house in Sanford, I had a friend that got me the job, and I said, "Why is this store so freaking slow? I'm just bored. Forget about it. I don't need to make a lot of money. I'm just bored." He said, "We're not even projected to make any money for 5 years. The first 5 years that we're going to be in the hole. We're not going to be busy for 5 years." But this business had this grand plan to ultimately succeed. 5 years on, they're going to recoup all their losses from the last 5 years and grow, 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 grow their business. Well, when a small businessman like yourself starts out, you may not survive that first 3 to 5 years.
Right.
But why are
Right.
we not? When the SBA lends you money, they lend you the initial money to get it going, and then you have some money to keep it going. But why aren't they lending you money to keep it going past that point? And there's a
They
term
will.
they
They will.
will, and then but you've learned the hard way, it almost seems like,
You
whereas
just
we
don't
don't.
want to.
Right, you don't want to go deeper in debt, but you understand, but you know a lot about the SBA and what they can do for you. But why aren't we bringing this to younger people's attentions that this may be the route you want to go? Yeah, you want to go to college, but yeah, you also may want to start a business, so you should have some fundamental knowledge of what it's involved with starting a business and surviving through the first few years. But we don't, and it seems like the only people that really do succeed anymore are the ones that really have these knowledges and these shitstorms, the '08 housing crisis, COVID, and what's next, who knows what's next, is really realigning the economy. Because they keep saying, why is the chasm between the rich and poor growing, growing, growing? And I think the reason it is because by design, by conspiracy
Hmm.
design, it's happening that way and it's going to continue happening.
Everything's more consolidated. So there's more wealth
Right,
than ever. There's more websites than ever. There's more real estate than ever. There's more opportunities than ever. There's more jobs than ever, but they're all consolidated. So
right,
that's why the internet feels like a tiny place today compared to 20 years ago.
right.
It's actually billions of times bigger, but the internet 20 years ago was the Wild West. It's huge. You could start a website. You could do e-commerce.
Huge.
You could make $1 million. You could do all this stuff.
I mean, just
Today,
think Amazon used to
today
be
the
just a
internet,
book thing.
he's a different
in
breed.
a garage, in his garage.
Today the internet is Amazon, Reddit, Google, YouTube,
Google.
social media, and maybe a handful of others, and that is it.
Do you
That's
realize
it.
though, Google,
That's
do you
all it
realize
is.
Google and
That's all it
YouTube is
is.
one company? Google owns
Yes.
YouTube. Yeah, so
Obvious.
we're not,
That's obvious. That's why when
no,
you
no,
have
I'm saying
Gmail
they're
on,
consolidating even that now. That you
that's been that
Google,
way for years. Google owns
right?
everything. They're a massive,
And Google
horrible
is the number,
antitrust monopoly. Google based on me talking about antitrust right now with my Gmail on my phone will start showing me commercials on my YouTube TV right now that's playing about exactly what we're talking about within the next
right?
20 minutes.
Oh yeah.
I am not shitting you.
Who
These two
owns
things
who
are
owns
in
Google?
sync.
Well, it's a publicly traded
It's
company.
public now, but it was
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
started by like Sergey Brin
Sergey
and
Brin and
a couple other
um,
guys, like two or three dudes.
but Google is the second biggest
So
search engine in the world, and Google is the first biggest search engine in the world, and they own each other, or they're one company.
what, Bing?
No,
Bing is
Bing is Microsoft.
Microsoft,
Bing is Microsoft,
but
right?
it's
Yeah.
going nowhere. But that's another wildly,
Do you
wildly
My
remember
point
do you
is
remember the
everything is so
original?
consolidated now that the world's bigger, but it seems tiny because you don't have any channels, any
Right.
options, or any
But
what do you
Bing
call
is
it? Creative.
another wildly unspoken of conspiracy theory. And here's my conspiracy theory on it.
On
Is
Bing?
Bing is yes, it's a
Okay.
Microsoft search engine. That's actually Bing is like some sort of Bill and Melinda type thing, Bing. But when you think of the Bill and Melinda Foundation, imagine because every business nowadays that's gotten big in America, they want to get big in the emerging economies. Imagine if Bing, if the only way a place in India can get their vaccinations or whatever, I'm not going into the vaccination discussion. If the only way they can get their vaccinations is via the Bing search engine, that search engine will become the biggest search engine in the world because it's the one that's going to encompass the emerging economies, the poorer economies that are going to grow a lot in the next 30 years. So Bing may, and that whole Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation thing, they're doing great things around the world, or they're not doing great things around the world. But are they trying to rope people into the Bing search engine to get those donations, to get those needs that Bing
Well,
provides?
I
That
hate the fact that every time my computer updates, it tries to make me go to Bing.
Well, now there was some sort of settlement or something with Google because it's not my premier search engine on
I'm
my
on
iPhone. I'm
DuckDuckGo.
buying DuckDuckGo, but I
DuckDuckGo.
didn't do anything to go from Google. When I used to pick up my cell phone, my Apple cell phone, it would go to Google, and there was a fact: Apple, Google was paying Apple $18 billion a year to make every device premier search engine Google.
Should
They're
have been
pay
Safari.
no Apple Google was paying Apple $18 billion
No,
a
I
year.
understand, but the search engine for Apple is
But
Safari.
now when I pick up my phone, it's DuckDuckGo. I can't even revert back to Google.
You
So
can.
I
You
don't
just
know.
don't know how.
I just don't know how. But
No, I can
was
show
that
you. You
something?
can.
Was that something Apple? Well, I'm good with it. DuckDuckGo. I prefer it, but I didn't
You
do
had
it.
to have downloaded DuckDuckGo.
I did not.
It does
I
just
did
didn't
not.
show
It
up.
switched over
It's
on
an
its
app.
own.
No, it's not an app that's like that. Whoa, where are we going, Derek?
Duck, duck, go.
That's what I
I'm on
use.
DuckDuckGo. See, DuckDuckGo is more friendlier to me because they have my
I
company
prefer it.
propped
I'm not
up. Look at
complaining.
my company ranks above all companies other than Amazon and whoever this sponsored is for DuckDuckGo. So I like DuckDuckGo.
I
DuckDuckGo, DuckDuckGo gives me hope because of all these 600 web blogs I own that Google has given the shaft to like 200 of them over the last year, which is total BS.
Goo goo.
Um, DuckDuckGo is the now I think what 400 million people use DuckDuckGo, so it's not I mean it's significant, but it's not like
It's not
Google with
huge.
billions. Right, but if it were to be, I think to me that I would prefer the
I do
splattering
prefer
of
it.
Google. Just like we had the splattering of PayPal finally a couple years ago after they were robbing everyone of all their money and holding it. They got splattered by Payoneer, and now they've come back as a more ethical, less centralized company, and they've been phenomenal to work with. So I'm hoping the same thing happens to Google. I'm hoping they get splattered a little bit, like actually use our antitrust laws correctly,
Right.
splatter that company out, let people compete become a much more ethical, moral option that people will choose based on them wanting to use, not being based on it be the only thing available to use, and then thus allow for a better user experience. That is my hope and my dream. It did happen with PayPal after 5 years of torment and tens of, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars seized and held for 6 months at a time with my businesses to hell and back, 12 accounts. It finally happened. They finally pulled their head out of their ass, got their ass little slipped and their nutties little chucked up into their legs, and they're okay to work with
Didn't
again.
the same
So
thing happen to
I have faith a
GoFundMe?
tiny bit, but I haven't. I have no idea about GoFundMe, dude.
No, I don't know anything about it. I was going to say about Ticketmaster, though. I just think that's
Oh
another
yeah, yeah,
monopoly. That's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
another, I mean, you
Ticketmaster for
can't,
sure.
it's just another freaking
And their
monopoly.
fees are redundant. So I want to go see a show.
Fee-
It's $22 for a ticket. I end up paying $40, because
It's more
I'm a
than
Yes.
fee.
that. It's
It's
more
more. It's
than
like the
that.
fees are like as much as
It's
the
too
ticket.
much.
It's too much. It's too much.
It's too
And
much.
why is it that no one,
I like the
just
concert
say,
we went to the other
just
night, the
think of this.
price I paid for the tickets for that.
Just think of this. Imagine if the three of us started a Ticketmaster. Would we have any opportunity for success? No,
No,
No.
because
waste of
no.
time.
Do you
wouldn't even think
remember?
about
Well,
it.
I don't remember. I'm sure Derek doesn't remember, but do you remember back in the day when we had to go buy tickets at a store? You had to get them
Yes,
inside,
I
and
remember.
people would sleep out night waiting for the concert the next day
yes.
because
I
it would
remember.
sell out.
That was until about 20 years ago.
Mm.
But what about what was it? It was called um the music before it was free.
Yeah, but the rockers
He
got
wasn't
mad and
paying the
got rid of it.
royalties. He
Yeah,
Oh,
wasn't paying the
Napster,
royalties.
Napster.
Napster.
Napster,
But they shut him
LimeWire.
down. They shut him down. The government shut him down. And then suddenly out of nowhere, the thing that made Apple the thing it is today, the most valuable company in the world is the fact that it was the music connection. It was a
Yep.
connection that it was the they
Yeah, but I'm
like
sure they pay
I'm
their
pretty sure
royalties.
Apple set the government up to shut him down. There was ways to work it out with him. They didn't just have to shut his business down. And he even
Right.
said, "How about I pay the royalties back over time? Let's start legally now. Yeah, I broke the law. Let's start doing it legally. I'll pay the royalties. As you
You
keep
know what
paying the
they
royalties,
used him? You know what they used Napster and LimeWire for? They used that for being the leading edge company in the beginning of an emerging market to bear all the cost, plow and pave the way, and then set them up basically to be the fall guy so that it opened the
right?"
Right,
floodgates for Apple to make
right.
But
billions and
that was
billions
a
and
full-out
artists to make billions of
conspiracy.
dollars. It was so funny because when all the like the Lars Ulrich, the Metallica bitching over the world, I was thinking this whole time with Napster, I'm like, you're gonna make so much money off this. I don't even know why you're pissed. Like, yeah, right now you might not be selling CDs, but artists don't make money off CDs. They make it off touring. Now,
Right.
when they went to this, then when Apple opened up and they had all this streaming music, they make so much more money today.
Right.
Like we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars, and you don't even know who these people are
Right.
But they
because there's no
they
shared
They're on
experiences.
they
Spotify.
killed
They're on
They're
him.
not
Apple
on the
Music.
radio anymore. There's no
Right.
shared experience. It's just a billion downloads from some 17-year-old donkus in his
Well,
basement.
why isn't it Napster that's the proprietor of all that? He's not though. Apple is.
They were
He didn't have
they were the
a shrewd
scapegoat.
enough legal crew or enough
No, he
cash.
was. They were. He Apple was in conjunction with the government on it. Just like I strongly believe Elon Musk bought Twitter. Everybody says it's the stupidest thing he ever did. $40 billion, and he calls it. I spent 40 billion, the most expensive nonprofit organization in my life, in the world in history. $40 billion. No, he was looking back on. There was a guy. Oh God, the guy that started the DeLorean. DeLorean.
John DeLorean.
John DeLorean was a star executive at General Motors. He was a star. When he opened his own company, the government got worried he would succeed. So they set his ass up with a whole drug deal to fund his company. The government said he never did a day in jail. They said it was entrapment. But they decimated his business. So I have a feeling that ultimately the government was trying to move in on Elon Musk and decimate his business because he got too big. So he bought Twitter to say, "Look, I have a voice now. I have a voice now. Now you can't do this to me. You can't do to
Possibly.
me what you can't do to me what you did to John DeLorean." And that's the same thing they did to Napster. I don't believe for a minute because he said we can work this out. I can do this legally. I can put together the books to pay the royalties back and pay future royalties the way they're supposed to be done correctly. All I did was start off on the wrong foot. But the government said, "No, you're done. You're out of this picture now." And Apple took over, and that's what made Apple the most valuable company in the world is their music connection.
Isn't that kind of sick and sad?
No, it's terrible.
I don't
It's
know,
really
but you guys talked about we should have watched Biden's speech tonight because he came out swinging.
Came
what
out
you
what
said. He
swinging at the air or swinging at the
No, he says he's putting a ban on dark money donations. He wants to do an 18-year term limit for Supreme Court, and he's banning Congress from trading stock.
Isn't he dead and out of office in 5 days?
No, he can still sound those things.
And
But
then
the thing is,
Trump said he is signing 100 executive orders on day one.
I
yeah, but
haven't
the problem is,
heard.
I'm gonna be honest with you, and you're not gonna agree with me, so that's fine. But I'm gonna tell you,
This
Trump
one.
is very bad at executive orders. His first term, everything was shot down by the courts over time.
Yeah, I know.
Other than the
Well,
travel ban, other than the travel ban,
unfortunately, Biden's were worse.
but they stood the test of the legal stipulations that they could be
Let's
executive
not
orders.
talk about these today.
No, no,
Okay, so here's what
We'll be
happened
talking about
to.
them in a week.
Do you remember?
we'll have a lot to talk about.
Do you remember the original search engine?
I do not.
Netscape Navigator,
Netscape Navigator.
Holy crap!
Where did
Alta
that go?
Vista, Excite, Lycos,
Where did that
Go.
go?
Dude, I
And
remember them
like,
all, baby.
but Netscape was the bomb diggity.
Sort
But how
of.
did Google prevail as to be the biggest and the baddest?
I don't know.
How?
Netscape was gone. I think AOL took Netscape out. Or no, Yahoo. Yahoo took out Netscape.
But now Yahoo's zero.
Yahoo!
Yahoo.
They're a
Do you
bunch of
remember? Do you remember when
Yahoo!
Microsoft wanted to buy Yahoo for $52 billion,
Yeah, they
and
turned
the
it down.
owner Yang, his name was Yang, the CEO's name was Yang or something like that. He turned it down ultimately, and he's been sued by the shareholders numerous times, but
Then it
ultimately
was valued at like 4 billion after
Right,
that.
Verizon bought it for $4 billion. That's the total they paid for it was $4 billion.
But you know, in
Verizon.
his defense too, like a lot that happens to a lot of companies where they have kind of a fundamental belief that they're going to win their market and that they wouldn't take a low valuation. But the problem was that by that time we already knew that Google was like an unstoppable force.
No, the thing
Everybody
that
knew that it was
every
over.
Yahoo shareholder had one thing in their favor. Steve Ballmer was an idiot, and Yang was a bigger idiot. He should have sold it, and he should have cashed out himself. To think he could retake the market from Google at the time, when in fact, I
Not at
mean,
that point.
no. People weren't saying search engine it, they were saying Google it.
Do
I
you
mean,
remember
nobody was
Yahoo
saying Yahoo
games
it.
where you could chat and play games and there was a game, a Yahoo pool?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man. Pool? Are you serious? That was the bomb.
Do you remember the Yahoo chat rooms and the Yahoo chat?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Do you
We
remember
just go on and
You could get naughty.
cuss people
MySpace?
You
out
could
and
get naughty.
Do you remember MySpace?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Of
My
course I
place,
remember.
my
I
space.
was friends with Tom.
Congrats,
Wasn't
everybody.
anybody wasn't everybody on MySpace friends
Yes,
with Tom?
he was there here. That was your
I never
first
did
that
do
was your
it, but
first Bing default search
Yep.
engine bookmarking move. You had to be friends with Tom.
Yep.
Well, I mean, you could remove him, but like you were by default given Tom as your friend so that
Here's
you wouldn't
something
jump off the deep end.
here's
But
something
in
to
essence, he
baffle
was controlling you.
here's something to baffle conspiracy theories.
You know,
The House report today came out that said almost every one of the COVID conspiracy theories are true.
obviously.
Yep.
well, I'm certain of
Shocker.
that. It just depends on how you articulate them. If you're just going to go, I mean, I articulate them in a way that says they realign the economy for the second time. That's the way I say it. Simple as that. They realign the economy in their favor for the second time. Period. And
Shocker.
I go back to this crazy $200 million donation to the University of Michigan, where they're building these dorms where are like just a maze of halls, tiny, tiny room, no windows. They're all windowless rooms. I mean,
You
who,
seem to be a little obsessed with these dorms, Trippy.
there because that's how housing is going to be in the future.
Not my
That's
house.
Not my
no,
house.
but I am I obsessed with the dorms? Am I obsessing about the dorms? I feel like it's
You want hey
I
you
feel like you want to go there and
if you
like
want to obsess about something, I've got some stuff. Actually, I'm
procreate.
going to send you some texts
Ew.
about it to
Horrible.
do some research on it. Lorianne's got some good stuff about the super cities and stuff like that, and UN Agenda 21, I think it is.
What is that?
Look it up, study it.
I'm going to study it this week before the next show.
Yep,
I don't trust the UN at all. I do think they have one good organization, and that's
they're
UNICEF, where they help children.
garbage,
They're
No, the
garbage.
uh,
garbage.
Children's Foundation, I think, does good work, but the rest of it's a bunch of political.
Anything that raises money for anything doesn't raise money for anything.
No, because like for example, that's not true
Look at
because
UNICEF, look at the Red
but then you'd be
Cross.
bundling in St. Jude's, you'd be bundling in.
I don't know that I trust St. Jude's.
I trust them
I
100%.
St.
So you
Jude's
know
is a
that
good
every penny
organization.
donated to St. Jude's goes to the children.
Of course, there's an admin amount, but if it, like,
And and how much
for
does their
instance,
CEO make?
Tunnel to Towers, is they're like 95% to charity. They're only 5% admin. That's incredible. Goodwill is like horrific, like
No,
50-50.
Goodwill's really bad, but you know
They're
what?
awful.
The Red
Tunnel to
Cross is
Tower was
worse.
connected to paying Rudy Giuliani's legal bills. That's a fact.
The
Tunnel to
red
Tower.
Oh,
the
I
red
believe that.
the Red
Yeah.
Cross is the worst, I think.
No, no, they're not the
No,
worst, but there Goodwill is terrible, but it's a business now. Goodwill is a business now. They are a flat out. People bring them their inventory and they sell it in droves for free labor. A lot of the labor is community service labor, so they don't even get paid. They get signed off on their community service, and they even if it's 50 cents a piece, they're bringing in $10,000 to $12,000 a day. I would bet on some of them stores, and they're also doing the McDonald's thing where they're really not into the clothing business. They're more into the realty business. They're more
the
into
real
the
estate.
right, real estate
That's
business
what
like
that's what
McDonald's.
one of our tint competitors is doing now. They went we're a Lumar brand and Expel is a competitor. They went public and what they'll do is they'll this is not good. No, I'm not going to go down that route. Sorry. But it's a real
Okay,
let's just say let's put it
it
this way.
ha no
It's a real
Goodwill.
estate game. It's
Goodwill
become a
is
real
full out.
estate game.
I'll say it. Goodwill is full out doing it. There used to be
McDonald's is not in the food
in
business. They're in the
my
real estate game.
neighborhood.
Yeah, the real estate business.
In my
McDonald's
neighborhood there
was
used to be
BlackRock before BlackRock was existed.
right in
They knew
my
they were
neighborhood.
way ahead of the game. They knew it was going to go down, and now it's like a corporate race to get as much of your investor share money to become the monopolist, creator, and centralist controller of the world.
But
Ah,
good
I figured it out, and you're funding it, dumbass. You're investing in it, and you're paying taxes to it, and they're working together to own your ass.
They own it. That's your ass.
Did I
they own
figure it
your
out?
ass.
We
I think so.
collectively just figured it
We
out.
did. We did.
Hmm. So
Goodwill.
you need to
I'll
have a
tell you this.
government job or you need to have like a conglomerate job.
I'm gonna tell you this now. I'm gonna tell you about my
The
experience
rest
in
of
my
us are
neighborhood.
peasants.
There was three or
Essence.
four other organizations where you could drop clothes off. Goodwill built that beautiful building with the
Hmm.
drive-through. Drive
Hmm.
through, throw it in a bin, get a ticket for your taxes. Thank you, thank you. No one went to them three or four other places because you have to pull in the parking lot. You got to park. You got to walk in the store. You got to stand there while the poor lady that's at the cashier desk is sorting clothes. No, Bull Goodwill is gangster on that real estate business now thing. They opened two beautiful buildings, one in Claremont and one up the road in nearly Ocoee Winter Garden. Beautiful buildings, and they're all gangbuster. And that's the kind of thing where big business comes in, and it was never. I don't think my clothing stores before Goodwill were meant to
So
be business.
here's the question. What's the end game usage of the real estate when Goodwill's no longer needed? That because there is one. There is
I don't
one.
know.
Every
I don't
real
know the
estate game
answers.
has an end game. So
I don't know
what are
the
they gonna what is
answers.
that gonna is that gonna be like that's your little mini hotel drive-through entrance to come to your little cubicle home?
That could be.
Because the building's paid for and owned outright, and so you
I
own
was
your little cot
the other day.
for $100 a month, and there's about, I don't know, 900 of them in each building, and
My mind races
little profit
every
center.
day. The other day I saw, it's been going on for a year. I drive the kids to swimming and I saw this old Eckerd's or old CVS or Walgreens or whatever the hell was being renovated, but it wasn't just being renovated, it's beautiful. They redid the landscape and they put a brick facial on the building. I said, that's
Hmm.
going to be housing. That's going to be small units. I was wrong. It became an ABC liquor, but my mind was
Yeah.
racing that that's what they're doing because I could see the landscape, and I'm like, what commercial business does this kind of elaborate landscaping? And it was
ABC
a
was a locally created business, wasn't it? Or
yeah
at least
by
just
Jack. His name was John Holloway. He was the owner. I
yeah.
landscaped one of his houses. John
So they're
Holloway.
not the real estate
No, no,
Do you
no,
remember
no.
when
flimsy
you
yet
remember ABC
until they
liquor
get bought
stores
out.
had bars?
Yes,
Really?
yes,
Yes. Yeah.
That's
yes.
amazing.
With
Why did they get
rotating
rid of
with
that?
rotating
Let me
bar
tell you, it was
floors.
not. It
The
was not a
bar
good.
floor used to
Was a
rotate.
problem?
Well, there was the one in Apopka. Remember, it was like the blue jean or something
Yeah.
like that.
No, that was called Blue Jeans.
That was a redneck hootenanny right
Oh
there.
man, so that one, a
I'll
Popka,
pop a
right?
bottle open and get wasted and have liability and go home.
Yep.
So there was
Why were people
one.
leaving there wasted and driving home and
Like every bar.
Used to in Florida, used to
in
have
the middle of the day?
drive-through liquor stores. Like you would drive
North
through, say,
Carolina has them. They're called brew throughs.
Bruce. No, these were like you could order a can of Seven Up, a can of Seagram Seven. You give you both in a bag. You pour a little Seven Up out. You pour the Seagram Seven in the can, and you could just drink a Seven and Seven while you're driving. They were called.
Yes. They
It
should
was,
have drive-through
and
bars,
that
man, where you
When
that
get
I
like
was the
a
when I
drive-through
lived
time.
when I lived in Texas, the passengers of a vehicle could drink, and the driver was allowed to have one beer.
Well, in Florida, when I first got here and all that drinking drive-through drinking was going on, rednecks used to have gun racks on the back of their
Oh yeah, we
pickups,
had. When you talk about
and
Florida and
you
Jersey, we
always
had
had to
gun
wonder if
racks.
I accidentally bump into this guy and he's been drinking, is he going to just open
At
fire on
least
you?
you know
So
what you're getting because now all you see is a
Trippy, not
blacked
all
out.
people who have gun racks are rednecks, by the way.
no, no, but
At
it was
least you
just
know
metaphor.
not
I
to
was
mess with
just
that
saying.
guy.
You liberal big
No,
crybaby.
first of
Go
all,
pay your internet
everybody.
bills.
We're gonna have rednecks on this show.
We should.
Oh yeah,
That's a
you
great
have to wear
idea,
cutoff
Zach.
flannel. Red flannel
Get
day.
Larry the Cable
No,
Guy
I'll
on.
find them. I still remember
That's
from my
good.
landscaping
That's
days where they
good.
live
All
in the
right, no.
nurseries,
We're
in the
not gonna
back of
bring
the nurseries.
rednecks on.
You
You
son.
are a
That was a great
redneck.
idea.
Oh, all right, but that's beside the point. I'm an educated
Yes.
redneck.
He's an educated redneck.
I'm an
I'm an
educated.
internal red. I'm a mentally
I remember
redneck.
when we used to go to high school and we could have our shotgun in the back of the truck
That's what I
You're
was just
very
saying.
old.
because we went hunting in the morning prior to going to school.
Well, we used to just go fishing, but we didn't ever go shooting.
We used to
I
just
would.
walk out into the parking lot and smoke cigarettes
We did too.
between
We
cars.
did that too.
And
That was they didn't like that.
up until 11th grade, we had a smoking lounge.
Really?
Yeah.
That is phenomenal.
I
And
used
They
to
should
get
have
allegedly,
that.
allegedly, you're supposed to be 18 to smoke in it, but nobody ever.
I
Look,
miss,
nobody.
you know what?
look at they check
Life used to
ID.
be a lot better.
I went to a private school where students over a certain age were allowed to smoke in the class. It was open floor. It was like college, and we used to have class inside, outside, and you could smoke in class.
So I don't believe in that. I don't believe you should be forced to subject yourself to secondhand smoke if you choose not to.
We didn't know what
However,
that
No,
was back
the
then.
I
freedom
love
to
the.
We had
the freedom
asbestos
to
on the
have the
walls. What
ability
did we
to
know?
legally practice your own degradation of your body, public, private, absolutely. It's your body.
Absolutely, absolutely,
Absolutely.
I'm all for the smoking
absolutely.
ban in restaurants and
Hey, you know what?
bars.
I
I don't
learned
think
something today.
Yeah,
smoking.
yeah.
Speaking
I
of,
think that was good to get rid of that
Yeah.
we were talking
inside.
about, yeah. Even those.
Although I love that
Remember,
smell.
Trippy, remember at the bar they
Just
used to have
love it.
that smokerator? It would like pop and crackle. It would suck the smoke out. It didn't work.
Yeah,
I'd
that
still go
was what
home.
one of my hangouts was
Can you
We
imagine
had
how
backstage
it.
often you'd have to
billiards.
change that filter?
We had it at
Backstage
we had it at the
billiards
Wing
had
House.
one.
I was working for the Wing House when they imposed that law that you couldn't smoke in the restaurant, and
Oh,
it got to
nine.
be a point where you could smell a cigarette across the restaurant. Someone would light up, be like, no smoking, and people were
I
like, "What
was
are
Wasn't
you
that
I,
talking
'09?
about?"
That
I
happened
was
in
working.
Michigan in '09.
No, this was oh
Probably last year in Florida.
no. This was when did I work for the Wing House? Oh four, right, Trippy? I worked for the Wing House in oh
Yeah, that's
four.
when me and my first wife first met. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Oh 04. We've been together 22 years.
I
We used
know.
to walk over.
I
We
went to your
lived two
wedding.
blocks away. Yeah,
I went to your wedding with a Wing House girl.
yeah. We used to live 2 blocks away. That was a fun time. We'd walk there.
You went
Pretty
to
much
someone's wedding with a Hooters girl?
It was a Wing House girl.
Wing house girl.
Same thing.
And Adriana thought I brought her to your to the concert the other night.
Do you know what
She's like, I
you
met
should
you at your
get?
wedding. She's like, no, I'm kidding. She messed up.
You know
Yeah,
what they call
no.
them? They call them restaurants.
I
You ever
said it
know that?
earlier.
You
Is
did too.
Twin
No,
Peaks a
you
restaurant?
yes.
Yeah.
Twin
Is it better
Peaks,
than Hooters?
Hooters, Twin Peaks. The up north we
Never
had
been to
bazookas. The Wing
bazookas.
House,
Bazookas.
Tots.
tots. Stay
Is that
off
a
the
restaurant or just think
stay
of a
off
name?
No,
my
it's man.
tots, man. Don't touch my tots. So here's the
I've never been to Twin Peaks.
I
it's
haven't
all right. It's
either.
all right. It's all right.
I'm sure. I think the only reason I haven't been is because it looks expensive for what it is.
Hooters actually used to have good,
They
I
had
mean,
great
no,
food.
they used to.
Yeah,
Well, we had
blackened
good
chicken
food at the
sandwich.
we
They
had good food at the
did.
Wing
We loved
House.
it. Me and my
We
They've
had
wife
done a
good
used
lot
to.
of
food.
changes
Yeah.
since they've consolidated and
We had
stuff. I
good
think
at
it's
B Dubs.
different.
We had good food, and then
Yeah, used to.
last time I ate there, I had heartburn for like 3 days.
Have
Beef
you
sauce
ever,
killed me.
what's the spiciest blazon that they have? Blazon.
Yeah, it's not hot.
So blazon used to be my jam. I loved it, but
It's
I'll tell you
not
the post morning butt burn. Holy,
hot.
I would no, I'm so listen, we would go there in college probably once a week and I
Where
would
B Dubs?
sit. Yeah, probably. We'd go to
Oh,
Taco Bell like
that's
six
where
times,
Blazing
but
was.
so we'd go to B-Dubs and I would remember I was working for my grandpa back then during college full time. So, we once in a while go out during the week, but just have we wouldn't get wasted or anything. I was pretty responsible, full time work in school, but
Hmm.
7 a.m. man, I remember like barely getting to work because my butt burned so bad, and then sitting in the bathroom in the office at 7 a.m. like pretty much crying
You
with the
got to eat
burn
ice
coming out of my
cream.
butt for like 2 hours, and it was every time, and I couldn't help myself because I liked it so much. I knew it was coming, and I'm like, ah. Same with like the nachos at Applebee's with all the jalapenos. I'm like, oh
Oh, I
yeah,
like that. I like
and
nachos
I
and
know what's
jalapeno.
coming. I know what's coming. I know what's
Yeah.
coming. Just like you drink a
Jalapenos
bottle
don't
of
bother
sriracha.
me.
No, they don't bother
But
me. I don't know. I love
but then
jalapeno.
we'd go to Taco Bell literally every day, and I would drink fire sauces. Not serious. I would open them up and drink them,
Ah, the fire sauce isn't hot.
and because I love the taste, and no problems, no digestive issues whatsoever. Felt
Can't have hot
fantastic.
sauce no more. I gotten old.
I eat
I
jalapenos all the time. I love them.
jalapenos are not kind to my butt,
I
whereas
love jalapenos.
habaneros are bajillion times hotter, but the taste and the digestion for me is fantastic. Love them. I can just eat a habanero and poop
I
it out
can't eat
great,
that.
and
So
it's the best. I
did you
love the
do
taste.
the blazing challenge at Wing House
You taught a
Not
couple
me.
or
boys some things.
at Buffalo Wild Wings rather?
What was that challenge, and when was this?
Not
You
Probably
had to
me.
not.
eat 12 wings, or was
Hmm.
it six? 6 or 12 wings, I don't remember. You couldn't have a drink and in a certain amount of time, and if you did, you got your picture on the wall and a shirt and yada yada yada.
I don't remember that. I feel like that
So
wouldn't be that
when
hard.
someone would go for the challenge, I'd
Hmm.
tell the cooks, I'd be like, dude, light this dude up. And they would add everything. I mean, just throw
Laxatives,
everything.
like
Oh my
rat
gosh.
poison,
Cop
Chinese
shit. That
chili
reminds me of Pulp
peppers,
Fiction. Cop shit in
chucking
his pants.
sriracha sauce all over.
Did you go to
Yeah.
you ever go to Tijuana Flats?
No,
No.
we
Yeah,
have one
one
at
time, one
Diets,
time.
but
Yeah.
They got the sauce bar.
Tijuana Shats.
They have the sauce bar and they've got really good sauce, but some of their
Oh, really?
sauces, yeah, some of their
So you
sauces
can just
like
go up there and just do whatever. That's still legit.
yeah.
Oh,
I
I
my
think I'll
favorite
go. We
sauce
have
they
one in
have
Hemlock
is
Grove.
so they have a mild smack it's not mild, it's like it's sweet and hot.
Smack your
Called
mama.
Smack Your Ass and Call Me Sally, or Smack My Ass and Call Me Sally. But then they have a hot version of it, and I tried that. That lit me up. I like something with taste and substance with a little backburn. I don't like something where I can't feel my mouth.
See,
Right, right.
to me, I don't know why this is. Maybe it's effed up genetics, but the stuff where I can't feel the more it burns my face, the tastier it is to me. So
Really,
like wasabi that you put on tuna, the green stuff
I'm
that's got
allergic
like
to it.
that.
I can't eat it.
So
You're
you get
allergic to
like a
wasabi?
Yeah, my lips swell up.
Wasabi's interesting because it'll burn the snot out of you very quickly and then fizzle out. It's a different. It's not like a spicy. It's like a just you'll literally clear out. Like you'll be like, whoa, like it's
We
like it feels like you're snorting like cocaine or something crazy.
Want to hear a
Not
funny
that I
wasabi
do.
story?
In a minute, I want to tell you mine and then I
I
want to
know.
hear
Finish your
yours.
story and then I'll tell you. Just
They'll
remind me.
give you a glob on a plate of sushi, and you're supposed to maybe have a little bit. I'll just take literally half of it and put it on a piece and eat it, and take another half and just eat it, and it's gone.
Oh, I
Oh,
can't
and I
And
do
it
love
that.
doesn't
it. And
bother
I don't
you?
even. No,
Oh,
nope, not at all.
I can't eat it because like
Fantastic.
my lips get swollen from it. I don't know why.
Fantastic. Well, when you're bionic, nothing really affects you
Right,
anymore.
right. No,
What's your
so
story?
when I worked for Planet Hollywood, uh,
Yes.
we went to Epcot, did the drink around the world,
Yes, we have to do
and
that together.
we do.
we weren't supposed to hang out with servers, but we didn't care. So me and a couple managers went and we were drinking around the world, and we went to Japan and we all got food and we were eating there, and the
Mhm.
guys were all wasted and they started snorting wasabi because they were
Why would
betting
you
they
ever
couldn't
do
do it.
that?
I
That is the
didn't
stupidest thing. I
I
hope you
didn't
They're
were
do
under
it,
probably
the
but
age
gonna.
of 25.
yeah, they were all kids and they were all just like, "Come on, dude, let's see who can do a line of wasabi."
89 shots of liquor would not make my
No,
mind
I
think
wouldn't
that
do
that
that
is
shit.
No.
anything that is that's like saying, let's jump off the temple because we're wasted. Well, you're gonna die. Are you okay with that? Yeah, we won't feel it. We're drunk. Who
So
cares? Oh, great idea.
I'm like when I used to drink, I would get hammered, but I was always very coherent. Like the stupidest thing I would do is maybe call my ex-wife. You know, it's probably why I stopped drinking. But I'd call her and cry about how she left me. But anyway, um
Aw.
no, but I'm like I was at House of Blues the other night at the concert
I wish I
and
would
a
have
couple
gone
guys came
either.
stumbling by And like I'm like, dude, I don't remember ever being like that drunk in public, like just
Not at
barely
like
able to
not in a
walk.
not at like an establishment. Maybe like out in the back 40 with the boys on the
No, I don't,
cul-de-sac,
well,
seeing how many
yeah.
natty lights you could slam in one outing. Yeah,
Although
but
we used to go to this bar by my house called Brothers. It was
brothers,
called the County Line Inn, and then it became Brothers, and then it went back to County Line Inn. Now it's called Dakotas or something. I don't know. But anyway, and
sisters.
it's just this yo, yo, yo. And we used to get
Yo
tuned up in
yo.
there. And my friend was a bartender. And one night he's like, dude, I made up a new drink. It's called Snowshoe. And it was like all the clear liquor in a shot. And like you do two of them. The reason they
Gross.
call it snowshoe is because you start walking like you're wearing snowshoes. And I did like five of them because I had to prove him wrong. That he's like, nobody can do more than two. And they said I did like on my sixth one, I threw it over my shoulder and nobody was looking. I was like, for good luck, I was like,
You don't
I don't even remember. I don't remember. I slept
you
in my
rebel.
ditch.
Oh,
I slept in my drainage ditch in front of my house in the snow.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that can
And
be painful waking up.
like I woke
Painful.
up covered in puke and snow and
Got a million of
I thought
those.
I
Got a million of
died.
those
I
stories.
thought I died. Like that was probably
Yeah.
like we went up to the diner and my
Oh, you're
friend
bringing back
Lori.
horrible memories,
Oh, my
dude.
friend Lori got
Horrible.
so mad that anybody let me get that wasted because she's like nobody'd ever see me that bad. She was like slapping me, all hauling off, slapping me, trying to wake me up. I was leaning against the wall, like my friends were holding me up because I kept sliding down the wall. They said at one point I walked into the diner, picked up a pot of coffee, and just started drinking it. Like
Oh,
I'm
And
sure
that's
my
how he
throat and
grew
mouth
hair
were
on his
totally.
chest.
I'm sure everything was burnt like third degree the next day. Yeah, that was a rough night. Yeah.
yeah, I
And I
can
woke up.
imagine.
So I
Rough
woke
morning
up
too.
at the bottom of my driveway. My
Goodness.
friend said he dropped me off because I didn't drive. I don't even know where my car was. I remember walking up the driveway. My friend said I walked up and I must have gotten this inkling to go back down to smoke a cigarette because I didn't smoke by my house. So I went to the bottom of the driveway to smoke and I passed out. And my dad at the bottom of the driveway had two flower beds and they were like raised railroad ties. So the driveway came down and they were raised up here. And I'm laying over there, my legs. And I remember waking up, I'm like, why am I freezing? It's so freaking cold and I can't feel my legs. And I literally thought I died and gone to heaven because everything was white. And I'm like, what the? I'm looking around and it was snow. I wake
Oh
up,
man.
I wake up and haul up my driveway, like run up there as fast as I can. I'm in the laundry room stripping because I'm all covered in grass and puke and everything else, throwing everything in the washing machine. And I was just like, hey, mom, what's going on? She's like, hey, what are you doing? I was like, we were playing football last night. My clothes are dirty. I got to wash them. Okay. Yeah. That's something I never did. And I was like, did dad leave for school yet? She goes, it's Saturday. Because my father would have found me at the bottom of the driveway, unconscious. That would have been not good.
Then he looked up.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my story. I woke
Oh,
up,
Oh.
just in time to get to work for roll call. My partner's like, dude, you are literally green around the gills. Like I've never seen anybody truly to the
dude.
green around the gills. And he took me to this Mexican
Ugh.
restaurant, which was run by his brother, who was Puerto Rican. I didn't figure that one out. And they made this soup. I don't know what it was. I literally drank the soup and was instantly better and went out drinking again that night.
Nice. I
You
want
should
to know
probably
what that soup
contact them and
is.
ask what that soup is.
Right.
Yeah, I
And I
want
could
to
make a
know.
fortune to stand outside of a bar all night. I got the soup,
And the D hangover.
the D
You
hangover
know,
soup.
another place to
And it was very hot because I remember my nose was just pouring down. It was not.
another see, so I probably drink now probably once every um maybe 6 weeks. And it's either like a stout beer,
I
dark
love
beer. I
stout
love
beer.
it because stout beer it's so strange, like it's perceived like it's this heavy, awful,
You got to use
high
No.
a fork. You
alcoholic.
got to use a fork and
It's
knife.
not. It's actually quite low calorie. It's typically not super alcoholic. Well, sometimes, and the taste is just fantastic.
You ever drink a fat tire?
Or probably at one
I
point.
like Fat Tire. I like Fat Tire a lot.
It's got a lot of alcohol.
It's like
Oh,
Yingling. It's like Yingling.
my dingling. But I thought
Or
fat tire was a stout, isn't it?
No, I think it's a lager. Fat Tire is a
Oh,
lager,
is it?
like a
Okay.
no, there's not many stouts.
I'm trying to remember. So what would be a stout? Guinness?
Hmm
Okay.
Guinness is a stout. That's the one of the
Everybody
few.
tells me you need like a fork and a knife to drink Guinness to get a cut through
Harps
it.
is a stout too,
You
right?
know, that a 12 ounce of Bud Light or Miller Lite's maybe 100 to 110 calories. A 12 ounce of Guinness is like 120, 130. It's almost like a light beer. And it's
Really?
only 4% alcohol. Yeah, it's super light.
Just has a
Super,
good taste to it. Guinness tastes
super
good.
light. But it's got, but the stout has kind of like a chocolatey, dark, crispy, burnt. It's just, I don't know, it's just good. I just love it. And
Yingling did a Hershey's Yingling. It was good. It was good.
but Yingling is a lager. But
Right.
they have a dark too. I think they have a near stout dark. I don't,
Yeah. Yeah.
but you don't
No, you're
find
right.
a lot of it. You don't find a lot of those in the grocery store.
No, no.
You find more at like the microbreweries, and which
Or you,
many like local microbreweries will have just like everyone will talk about IPAs all day, but typically like the stouts they do are just fantastic, just incredible.
So there
And you
used
only
to
need like
be.
one or two of them because they're like 10% alcohol. So you're just like, oh, you're just sipping and you just, oh, this is great.
So when I worked for Full Sail, this was back in the late 90s. They had a party at the owner's house, and he had this beer. It was from Dixie Brewery or something from Louisiana, and it was called
Oh, yeah,
Blackened Voodoo.
oh, I remember that. It's still out there.
It tasted like chocolate milk.
Yeah, it's still out
It
there.
was delicious.
It's still available.
Yeah, but I don't think Dixie Brewery owns it anymore. I'm looking it up. It's called Falborg Brewing Company. Oh,
Well,
it's a
you can get it.
New Orleans-based brewing company.
Yeah,
Okay, so they might have changed their name.
Newlands.
Nowlands.
Newlands.
still
Nowlands.
available.
Newlands.
It's delicious.
Sounds good.
I haven't had a beer in so long. I don't know if I had one what it would do to me.
We're gonna
Yeah, it
all
was
go
called
drinking around
Dixie
the
Black
world,
and Voodoo.
No,
right,
Zach's not.
Derek?
Zach has to drive. I'll go,
I'm the
yeah.
I'm the
Or
driver.
Zach
D
driving.
D Springs is fun too to have a couple.
Oh yeah.
You
Oh
ever done
yeah.
Dude,
that?
there's too many
Yeah.
people there.
No,
Yeah. Well, that's Disney.
it's a big place. Spread
No,
out now.
you didn't park in Grapefruit. I had to fight the crowd.
Told you before you even got there. Don't park in Grapefruit. You said no.
Orange
I said
Garage level 2, baby. Don't tell the
well,
world.
I didn't even know about level two. I just parked on top where you saw me, but I could find the car easier there.
I went with you to
The
get
thing
the
is, you go if
tickets.
you go in orange, you either go in the bottom or the top, and if you go in the top, no matter if it says full or not, you're going to go in level 3. And most people have no clue that instead of going up on level 3, all you got to do is take the second right to exit down to 2, and then you're on the
Right.
level you
You're
go
on
in,
the
and
right.
there's
Yeah.
always a spot or 100 there, and you're literally just like walk right in.
Literally, when it said full, when we drove up the ramp, because I went
You
to the
still
top,
go in it.
every floor said 30, 40, 60 open
Yeah, you still
spots.
go in it. You
Every
still go in it.
floor. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they lie. Disney's lying
They
to us.
lie. It's a
Why would
lie.
the orange parking lot lie to me?
It separates the gangsters from the rookies. Because they want the other lot to be full, and so most people who see that are going to go to that lot, whereas the OGs are going to be like, "Yeah, I really know what's going on," because the person who posted this sign knows less about Disney than I do.
All
I
right.
really think, grapefruit came years after everything, and orange is,
And it's
there's always going to be
150
spots
miles
in
away.
orange. There's enough parking. Yes. Well,
I
it's on the
remember the
other
parking
end.
lot. I remember the parking lot employees used to have to park at was across the street behind the
They still
They
do.
still have that.
Yeah.
okay, well, when I worked for Planet Haywood, uh I call it, hey, would you blow me? Anyway, I would park right in front of the restaurant down in the VIP parking, and you just put your business
Because
card
you're
on
a
the dash.
manager.
I put
Because
my
you're a
business card
manager.
on the dashboard, and they
Right.
Mm.
left me alone.
Different.
The great
I
thing about Disney is that the more you go to it or know about it or work at it, the more you actually know about like the college program. The more you know about it than like the college program guest experience people do. So no matter what anyone says, you know that like they could be all telling people, no, you gotta go this way or line up here, but you're like, no, no,
No.
no,
No. I
no, no,
told
sorry,
them.
I live here, I know what to do.
He said he's
It,
walking from Orange, from Grapefruit. I said, well, why'd you park there?
let them,
So, all
let them
right,
pay the
now I
price.
know. I've learned from you experts. Let me tell you
So
what, I will say one of my favorite things when I worked for Disney is when we went through traditions.
That was nice.
I
Yeah.
had a blast. It was a good time.
It was a good time. I remember it was 25
You got
years
to
ago,
snort a
but
lot of pixie dust to go through it, but
Trippy, what are your top three around the world places you're going to choose?
well, of course, the
Hurry.
UK, Germany, and probably Canada because I like Labatt's.
God, you were boring, but that's cool. That's
Don't
cool.
I
you
mean,
want to
but
go
you
the
said
don't you
hurry,
want to go the
hurry.
Rose, the Cross and the Rose or whatever it's
That's
called
the
and get
one
a
Rose and Crown. I just said
That's
the
what he said
UK.
over
oh,
UK.
okay.
He's
UK,
gonna get a
UK.
Guinness there. He's gonna get that grapefruit beer in
That's
Germany, and
where
he's gonna get a
No,
Labatt's, and
Germany, I'm gonna get Hefeweizen.
he's not even gonna
Germany, I'm gonna
fricking get a Moosehead in Canada. He's gonna
hey, I like
no.
Moosehead.
Labatt's.
I
Moosehead
like
was the beer back in the
Labatt's.
day.
It's not just a good beer; it's a good memory. When we were kids and used to do barbecues, Labatt's was always a
Oh
staple.
yeah, that's the one we always used to buy 12 packs and drink it as
Right,
fast as we could in the truck at 17 in the bowling alley and puke.
and because I think it's
Oh yeah,
cheap.
great memories.
I think it's cheap.
How
Well, I
close were
mean,
you?
I
How close were you to Canada when you lived in Michigan?
You could drive to, well, there's two ways to get in. There's Sarnia, Port Huron, which is north of Detroit, and that's the tunnel. I think that's a tunnel, and that's like 3.5, 3 hours,
Oh, okay, so you weren't close.
and then you could do the Windsor, the bridge, the main one, and if it was a good time of day, yeah, still two, like 3 hours.
So my buddy lived on a border town, and it was like like a bridge you could just walk over. It was like right there.
Bad Axe?
I don't know.
No, that's not a water town.
It was I think it was north of Detroit, I think.
Oh yeah, it was probably like yeah, it was. Well, I don't know because that's like Huron, dude.
Some little redneck town, like literally they could walk to Canada. So they used to walk over as kids
It
because
was
there was the drinking age was lower in Canada, but they only
right.
got the it's
That's
like
why we'd go
point
to
it was
Windsor.
like
Yeah,
0.5 beer or whatever, the near beer. It wasn't
probably
like
probably somewhere around Port Huron, the
I think the
northern
beer
the
alcohol
tunnel.
content was lower or something that they bought.
Could be. I don't know, but yeah, we did that like a couple times just to drink, But Windsor's a shithole.
Is it?
So
is it?
yeah, because people go to drink and gamble, but like you don't want to do. Oh God, it's like if you went to freaking Colonial by Pine Hills, like to hang out, like
I
just so
go
you
there
could
every
get
day.
drunk.
I'm there every day.
Yeah, but you wouldn't go there just
That's
to
his
get drunk.
territory.
That's my territory.
That's his
No.
territory.
Ugh. You'd be like,
But you know
no,
what's
dad,
good
dad,
there?
buy me a six pack. I'll stay in the basement,
Buy me
But
a
okay?
sixer.
Compromise.
I was at Lati the other day. Have you ever been there to eat? Lati,
Where?
Where?
the Asian
Where's
grocery store. That
where?
was good.
Where's
Where?
It's
that?
on Pine Hills. It's on 50,
Oh,
and
no. I don't
it,
go there ever.
people saw my Facebook post. Yeah, that place is great. It's well known. It's well
I'll
known.
never go there. I don't care what it is.
Um,
I never been there,
it
so
was
I don't
good.
know.
I value my life.
You know where I like to
Well,
eat sometimes? I go to Bravo.
Is that an Italian place?
No.
the
Bravo is
grocery
a
store?
Spanish grocery store and they got like a
Yeah,
food section in there. It's cheap and
not mine.
you get this huge freaking plate of food.
Not mine. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's back in the corner.
Not mine at Claremont. It doesn't have a food
Well,
section.
Claremont's like become bougie.
No, we have a Bravo though. It's Bravo's
Bougemont.
Bravo.
That's where all
You
the
gotta
Olympians live.
you gotta go
Bougie.
to the one in Winter Garden.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm gonna have to get out there.
Yeah, they got a
All
nice
right,
it's you
guys,
get some pulled pork and stuff.
we're getting to that point.
What I was going to bring up earlier, you guys were talking about money. I found out a little billionaire's trick that so you have a company and you know what you're going to make a quarter. You take a loan for that amount. That's the money you live off. Then when you make your money at the end of the quarter, you pay the loan back and you don't pay taxes. That's how people get away with it. So that's why everybody says when they're billionaires and millionaires, keep borrowing money because they just pay the money back when they earn the
I
money and they
like it.
don't pay taxes.
They'll pay no taxes.
Little loophole. But Trump's going to get rid of the IRS anyway, so it don't matter.
It doesn't matter. I'm not going there.
It's going to be a beautiful thing.
It will be. We'll see.
I have to
All right,
figure out
guys.
if that's legitimate or not. I'm gonna ask my accountant.
Why
Can you
would
get
an
back with
accountant
us
tell
on
you that?
that? Can you remember
I don't
that?
have to. Man, that's
It's a great loophole.
yeah, I know, but I'm lucky if I mean, I'm lucky that I have to pay him anyway with how crap everything is. So the, the only benefit I get is spending money through the business for everything in my life because my life is nothing but business all the time.
And then you get
It's
points
a,
and you get to fly first class everywhere you go.
pretty
That's the
much
point.
three businesses, like literally, there's nothing I do in a day that's not business related. Nothing. So that's my loophole. I don't have to make money with the business to actually use business money because everything I do is through the business. So
Good
similar.
That's a bunch of monkey business.
I
monkey,
know.
funny business, funny
It's
business.
Well,
not, I do not recommend it.
on that note, boys,
I'm
it's
not
time to go
going
to
down
bed.
that rabbit hole.
I got to get up early because I go to the podcast expo tomorrow.
Where is
Zachary,
that?
text me, text me, text me.
Renaissance by SeaWorld. I'll
Is the
be there.
Renaissance a hotel?
Yeah,
Yes, I'll be
at the
there
end of I
Thursday.
drive.
I'll be there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sunday,
Text
Sunday,
me, text
Sunday.
me, text me.
Yeah, I'll let
You're
you
gonna be
know
there
what's up.
4 days,
Yes,
and you're
learning
gonna commute every day?
Well, I ride in luxury, so why not?
Wow.
I like
Okay.
I like a
Wow.
hotel.
Big pimp. I drive all day, so driving to there is not a big deal.
I don't mind driving. I love driving.
All
Now
right,
do not drive
Palm
to Detroit.
Parkway.
and I'll give you guys an update.
Yes,
Please.
I'll let you know.
multiples.
Anyway, people, got to tell you how much we love you. We appreciate you. Thanks for watching. Please check out our sponsor, Turbo Tint.
Please.
Derek's needs money.
Please.
Derek needs money.
Please.
He stands
Please
on the
give
corner.
me money. It's too slow. It's too cold. It's the slowest time ever. Okay, anyway, next.
Anyway, guys, as always, please like, subscribe, share, tell a friend, tell anybody, tell somebody. Come on, make a comment.
Comment.
Comment. Tell us how much you enjoyed not having Trippy on for a little while today. Anyway, but until next time, we love you. Thank you very much. Peace.
Peace. Love.